Sports Radio 1460. Tomorrow's Dodgers are your Las Vegas 51. 51's baseball is brought to you in part by the Las Vegas Review Journal, Southwest Airlines, and by Cox Communications. Now, here's the voice of the 51s, Russ Langer.
And a hearty good evening to all of you here at Cashman Field, getting set for Game 1 of a 4-game series between the Las Vegas 51s and the top farm team of the world champion Anaheim Angels, the Salt Lake Stingers. Along with Tim Everett, Russ Langer with you. A warm but pleasant night here at the ballpark. Las Vegas is playing the final segment of this 8-game homestand, which the first part of which concluded yesterday as Las Vegas dropped a tough 6-4 loss in that ball game to the Portland Beavers in 10 innings. And today, after splitting with Portland in 4 games, they're taking on the Salt Lake Stingers, a team that is having a strange season. They got off to a pretty miserable start after making the playoffs last year. All of a sudden, they won 8 in a row, a winning streak that began when Las Vegas was in Salt Lake City and lost the last game Sunday day. That was a game in which Vegas had a 2-0 lead with 2 outs in the ninth, and Salt Lake rallied because of the fact that the Vegas 51s made 2 big errors in the infield, and Salt Lake rallied to win that game 3-2. That kicked off the 8-game win streak, but no sooner than they win 8 in a row, they lost the last 2, and they've given up 27 runs in those 2 games in the process, and that includes yesterday's loss as they were beaten by New Orleans 11-4 after losing the previous day 16-2. Former Las Vegas star Ron Ballone was the man who beat them for the New Orleans team yesterday. Today, in Game 1 of this series, right-hander Steve Green, who's missed about a whole year and a half because of arm injuries, takes the mound for the Salt Lake Stingers. He's opposed by left-hander Andrew Lorraine. Lorraine began the season in the rotation, then was moved to the bullpen, and is back in the rotation. Las Vegas had a new pitcher arrive yesterday, Scott Proctor, a hard-throwing righty up from AA Jacksonville, where he posted a 1 ERA. And Proctor made his AAA debut as far as being a relief pitcher yesterday. He did pitch briefly for the 51s last year in the playoffs as a starter, but he made his Vegas debut this year. He went 2 scoreless innings, giving up 1 hit. A new pitcher is on board today, Augustine Montero, a right-hander, also a hard-throwing righty from Jacksonville. We'll tell you more about him as the game goes along. Well, Las Vegas trying to get back on the winning track as they take on the Salt Lake Stingers. Our guest in the pregame show to talk about the Vegas difficulties of late is the manager of the team. That is John Shoemaker. Vegas is in second place in the Southern Division, 3 back of Sacramento. They were within 2 until yesterday, when Sacramento won again as they beat Fresno 9-3, their 7th win in the last 10 games. Vegas has lost 7 of 10 after losing here yesterday. Meanwhile, Salt Lake is also in second place in their division. In the Northern Division, they trail Portland by 3.5 games coming to today's action. John Shoemaker, our guest on the pregame show to discuss what it will take for Vegas to get out of this little tailspin that they've been in. We'll be back to talk with Mr. Shoemaker right after this. Brace yourself and your General Motors vehicle for summer with a visit to the excellent GM Goodwrench Service Department at Desert Pontiac GMC Buick. Desert Pontiac GMC Buick's factory-trained air conditioning specialist will check your condenser and coolant level, adjust your drive belts, inspect your clamps and hoses, check Freon, test your system pressure, and check for leaks. Take no chances. Come see your GM Goodwrench Service Center, Desert Pontiac GMC Buick in the Valley Auto Mall at 330 North Gibson Road in Henderson. It's good to know it's Goodwrench.
Call 383-0383 to place your artisan classified ads, where you can buy and sell most anything through the artisan classified ads. Well, now there's TV, microscope, and stereo too. From antique to diva, the classifieds are here for you. Call 383-0383 to place your artisan classified ads. 383-0383. If you've got a or a book that you want to sell, or your need repair, you'd like a or a book, or maybe a or a home, or get a job, pick up the phone and let the artisan work for you. Call 383-0383 to place your artisan classified at 383-0383.
He's got a couple of ducks on the pond. This is Sports Radio 1460. There's the 3-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Las Vegas.
At some point during the season, what has been the main cause behind this one?
Well, you're right, Russ. Hopefully you like to get off to a fast start and play well, and we were able to do that. Right now, at this juncture in the season, we're running across what we like to call a little storm. We're in some stormy weather, and somehow we've got to try to right the ship and get ourselves back on the correct path. You know, when you're struggling, it seems like everything goes wrong. We went to Salt Lake City and gave up a lot of runs in a couple of games, lost the lead in the ninth. Went to Tucson, gave up a lot of runs, lost another lead in the ninth. Things that usually had not been happening to us this year. Then you start asking questions, or what about our lineup? Who should we play today? And it's not really anything you have to worry about. You just put your best lineup on the field and try to keep the guys fresh and rest who you think you need to rest. Our pitching right now, the guys are doing well. The guys are really working hard trying to improve and do some great things for us. We've been kind of affected by a few slight injuries, and we weren't even playing at a full roster for a brief time. So even though we're in a storm right now, it's going to be up to us to get the guys back on the right course.
Defensively, some things have been happening lately that hadn't been happening early in the season. As someone who's done a lot of coaching in that area, anything that can be done with that is just a matter of playing out of it.
Well, I think the concentration, if the concentration is there and knowing what's going to happen before it happens, not after it happens, what do I do with the ball now? And again, we've got some players here that have a lot of experience, but we also have some players here that are still young, relatively speaking, in professional baseball and have a chance to be major leaguers but are still away. And the consistency level is really key. Playing on different services, in and out, back and forth, travel, a lot of that is affecting it. Eric Riggs is starting to play some shortstop now, so he's going to have a few days over there that maybe to make some adjustments. He's done a great job over there for us. Rick Bell's back in the lineup. He has played a lot for us here. Kopinski's moving around to some different spots. So our defense has not really been that solid. And we've been making a lot of plays that we had not been making earlier. Been on the negative side, and it's been affecting us.
5 outfielders now. This is something that is going to be difficult for any manager to have to juggle, especially when all of them are decent players.
Well, when we started the season with the 4 outfielders, including Crosby and Chen and Ruan and Murray, we were rotating the 4 of them. When we had a chance to use one as a DH, we did. When we didn't, one of them had to sit on the bench. Just for the record and for public knowledge, Calvin Murray, and told him that he got playing as the feeling there with the organization, a guy like Calvin Murray who has a lot of experience. If the major league team needed Calvin Murray, it wouldn't matter if he was playing 1 day a week here or 6. They would call him up if they need him and if they wanted him, so it really wouldn't matter. So I think our priority now is going to be more on the Chen, Ruan, Crosby, and Hermanson, and with Murray playing sparingly and used for defense or running or just in some particular games. He's not going to sit all season. In fact, he's in today's game, and he had 3 at-bats last night in a double switch. So he's a great guy. He's a great professional, but that's kind of how we've worked out that 5 outfielder situation.
John Shoemaker, I guess, in the pregame show. John, let's talk about one of the real pluses in the last couple of weeks, the way Corey Hill has performed since coming up from Jacksonville, hitting close to 400 and playing well behind the plate and hitting from both sides of the plate and seemingly hitting everything hard.
Well, Corey has gotten off to a good start with us here, and Corey's the type of player that, I'm not sure of this, but I think that he probably felt in his mind that he is a AAA player, and he's come up here and proven that. Unfortunately, we had David Ross starting the season, and the organization wanted Hill and Ross to get the catching, so Hill had to go back to AA. Still learning, still improving as a catcher, still learning, still improving as a hitter, still learning, still improving as just a total professional. But you really got to like the way that he's performed so far. And if we don't get David Ross back to our lineup and Corey Hill stays with us all season long, it's going to be a plus for Hill, and it's going to be a plus for the organization. We moved a guy to the major leagues, and we got another guy who's on the way up to AAA ball.
Some say that it's, in some sense, easier to hit a triple than AA. The pitchers tend to be around the plate more. He was hitting 228 at Jacksonville. I had a better year than that last year. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, sometimes it could be that. You're going to find more experienced pitchers here. Probably just as a rule of thumb, and I don't even have any numbers or statistics on this, you're probably going to find maybe some better arms in the AA League. Younger prospects for throwing the ball harder, maybe better overall stuff. Sometimes at AAA you do have your prospects, but you also have some veteran pitchers that are more control type, pitching backwards, a lot of off-speed pitches behind in the count, go to off-speed pitches when their situation calls for it or when runners are in scoring position. For example, a guy like Wilson Alvarez, who's really been pitching great for us, tons and tons of experience. Well, he's a different pitcher with people on base than when he was not, and he's still effective in both ways. He's getting people out because he's changing speeds. Nobody on base, here, hit my fastball. People on base, he's starting to use his breaking stuff and his changeup, and that's what you've got to be able to adjust to as a hitter. And so far, Hill has been able to do that.
John, it's always a pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Okay, these Sundays are coming around real quick. We seem to talk every Sunday, and we're almost through, man. I really enjoy working with you, and want to thank the fans for listening and also the fans for coming out. We got a great group of fans here, and it's going to warm up this summer, and so are the 51s.
Good. John Shoemaker, folks. Back with the starting lineups right after this.
Imagine you're at a party with the Beatles, the Beach Boys, the Stones, Dusty Springfield, Tom Jones, the Doors, the Monkees, and other great 60s groups. Wouldn't that be just incredible? Well, it's happening at the Castaways right now with the hottest 60s show band to ever hit Las Vegas, 60s Mania. Think you're listening to the Beatles? Frankie Valli? The Beach Boys? No, that's 60s Mania. And you can hear and see this and more at the Castaways.
Hi, this is Andrew Hill of 60s Mania. Come and check out our show that everyone's talking about at the Castaways Casino Showroom, Wednesday through Sunday at 8 p.m. Oh yeah, by the way, it's free.
The Castaways, 2800 Fremont Street. Call 383-9232 and visit castaways-lv.com. See 60s Mania show band live at the Castaways.
Castaways! Happy to get away! Castaways!
51's Baseball and Tim Truschel weekday mornings. Sports Radio 1460. As temperatures rise, so do your chances for car trouble. Help meet the demands of summer driving by taking your General Motors vehicle to an expert, Cadillac of Las Vegas. Let Cadillac of Las Vegas give your car a seasonal checkup to make sure it's ready for virtually anything summer can dish out. Cadillac of Las Vegas is your GM Goodwrench Service Center, featuring GM-certified technicians, advanced diagnostic equipment, and genuine GM parts. So stop by your GM Goodwrench Service Center, Cadillac of Las Vegas at 2711 East Sahara in Las Vegas, and keep yourself and your car cool this summer.
The Tim Brando Show.
Mike Davis, head basketball coach of the Indiana Hoosiers. Do you have a problem specifically with a high school basketball game being televised nationally that has a phenom within it?
Well, no. I tell you why. So many people hear about these guys, and they want to see them. And so I think a great player comes along once every blue moon. And to get it on television, to me, it's not bad.
Tim Brando. Weekdays at noon. Only on Sports Radio 1460.
How you play the first 18 holes is important, but how you celebrate those 18 is what really counts, which is why the next time you're on the 19th hole, you should have an Amstel Light. Amstel Light is a light beer that actually tastes like beer. So ask your caddy for advice, throw some blades of grass in the air to get an idea of the wind. Just do whatever you have to do, because this is the 19th hole, and selecting an Amstel Light will be the best decision you make all day. Always satisfying, never watered down. Amstel Light, the beer drinker's light beer, imported by Amstel USA, White Plains, New York.
Back here at Cashman Field, Tim Never with a look at tonight's starting lineups. First for the visiting Salt Lake Stingers. The designated hitter, Adam Riggs, leads off, followed by the second baseman, Trent Durrington. Rob Quinlan hits third and plays left field. Keith Johnson in the cleanup spot, playing third base. Barry Wesson's in right field, batting fifth. Julio Ramirez is the sixth hitter. He's the center fielder. Will Nieves at first base will hit seventh. Tom Gregorio behind the plate hits eighth, and Adonis Harrison, the shortstop, will bat ninth. Pitching Steve Green, he's 3-2 with an ERA of 4.81. Joe Thurston will lead off for the 51 at second base. Eric Riggs at third base bats second. Larry Barnes, the first baseman, will hit third. Green Valley High School's Chad Hermanson, the designated hitter. He'll bat cleanup tonight. Corey Hill behind the plate hitting fifth. In left field, Chin-Feng Chen. In the seventh spot, switch hitter Chris Klopinski. He'll play shortstop. Calvin Murray, the right fielder, hits eighth. And Wilkin Ruan bats ninth. Left-hander Andrew Lorraine at 3-2, 4.23. The earned run average on the mound for the 51s. We'll take a quick timeout. When we come back, Russ will have the first pitch for you at Salt Lake in Las Vegas from Cashman Field.
Dave, is that the $6 burger you got going there?
Yeah, from Carl's Jr.
Sweet. What's that green stuff?
Guacamole.
Oh, guacamole. All right. Yeah, it's the guacamole bacon $6 burger. Cool, man. So right now you're taking a little guac on the wild side. What? Are you eating that thing like, guac, stock, and barrel? And guac on, Dave, guac on!
Oh, okay, I get it. Guacamole. Funny word.
It is.
Okay, let's acknowledge and move on.
Hey,
okay. Thank you.
Done. Holy moly, guacamole.
Ed.
Dude, is this like burger totally guac in your world or what?
Ed.
All right, really quick. What do you say to a duck when you give him guacamole?
I don't. Ed, stop. Okay, you're bugging me, all right? I'm just trying to eat my burger.
Have a lunch.
Thank you.
Go.
Thank
Enjoy.
you.
All right. So what you're saying is you want me to guac it off? Yeah.
Introducing the guacamole bacon $6 burger at Carl's Jr., the only restaurant-style burger available at a fast food place. For a limited time only, price and participation may vary.
Adam Riggs set to step in as we're ready to go now. As Andrew Lorraine, tall left-hander, set to go. And Riggs, the man in the batter's box, the windup in the first pitch of the game is a fastball low, ball one. 1 ball and no strikes to Adam Riggs. Leading things off. Adam Riggs is the designated hitter. He's an infielder by trade, can also play the outfield, and came up in the Dodger organization. The 1-0 pitch to Riggs. And he takes the fastball for a strike, 1-1. Riggs hitting .289 with 5 homers and 33 runs batted across. 33 RBIs is tops in the club. You don't often see a leadoff man leading a team in runs batted in, but Riggs has not been doing a lot of leading off. Alfredo Meziga's on the disabled list till tomorrow. Fastball's low, 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike, and Sean Figgins is up in the big leagues right now with the Parent Angels. So Riggs leading off with a 2-ball, 1 strike count. Trent Durrington on deck. So 2 ex-Dodgers to start off against Lorraine. The 2-1, Riggs takes a fast one for a strike on the outside half. It is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Andrew Lorraine has been around for 10 years, and he's been pitching against Salt Lake with several different organizations. Much of the time he's been in the PCL. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Riggs takes a fastball that I guess missed. Somebody thought it missed. 3-2 to count to Riggs. Anyway, Lorraine lifetime has gone 15 games. 12 of them starts against Salt Lake with various teams. He has a 6-4 lifetime record against the Salt Lake franchise. There's a pop-up out in the shallow center. Thurston coming out. Ruan and Murray coming in, but Thurston's there to stand there and make the catch. And there's one gone, the batter Trent Durrington. Las Vegas on defense. Larry Barnes, who played with Salt Lake last year, facing a lot of his old teammates, playing first base for the Las Vegas 51s tonight. Joe Thurston at second, Chris Klipinski at short, and Adam Riggs at third. Eric Riggs at third. That had to happen at some point. It didn't happen in Salt Lake.
One of the Riggs.
That's right.
They're both related.
2 Riggs, no waiting. Chin Feng Chen in left. Wilkin Ruan in center. Calvin Murray in right. Coy Hill catching for Andrew Lorraine. And here is a fellow who played for the 51s 2 seasons ago briefly, Trent Durrington. The pitch. Fastball's a strike on 1. Durrington at .287 with a home run and 16 RBIs. This is Durrington's best year above AA in his career. He also tops this club with 13 steals. Has only been caught 4 times. The 0-1. Fastball is a little outside. 1-1. Durrington from the Gold Coast of Australia. He was part of the trio of Aussies, the 51s 2 years ago, along with Jeff Williams and briefly Luke Prokopek. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to the guy they call Duro. Durrington waiting on Lorraine, and here he comes with that herky-jerk motion. Fastball's outside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Vegas lost one of their toughest games of the year. That's last Sunday in Salt Lake. They were up 2-0 with 2 outs in the ninth. It was Durrington who sent everyone home with a line drive base hit to left field to drive in the game winner against Brian Corey. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Lorraine to Durrington. That's a cutter, a little low maybe, 3-1. And Rob Quinlan is on deck. Rob Drake was going to be calling balls and strikes, but he has been summoned, and so Steve Cox is calling balls and strikes for this game. First base up is Casey Moser, and at third base is Jack Samuels. Here comes the 3-1 to Durrington from Lorraine. And that pitch is a strike, dropped by Hill. 3 balls and 2 strikes to count. Durrington 10 doubles. And an on-base percentage approaching .360 as he stands in again. He generally wouldn't hit this high in the order, but with Meziga and Figgins both gone, he's there. Here's the 3-2 pitch, a high foul, right field side. Barnes, Thurston, and Murray all giving chase. It's Barnes to make a one-handed catch, not far from the Salt Lake bullpen, and it was Doug Nickel getting out of the way carrying a chair with him to make sure that neither he nor anyone else became a casualty of that foul ball. 2 down. Nice play.
That's a good play. Good play to keep concentration. You know you're over there by the bullpen. You know those guys are sitting down. But Barnes just kept on looking at the baseball. He figured they'd get up and get out of the way eventually.
Here's a left fielder. Rob Quinlan is up. That's a fastball for ball 1. Rob Quinlan with a 1-0 count. He was the PCL MVP last year, playing for this team and went to the playoffs and having a good year, not like the kind of year he had last year. Fastball's up and away 2-0. Quinlan's batting .312, but he hasn't been driving runs in or hitting with the kind of power that he hit with last year. He has 1 home run in 170 official at-bats and 28 runs batted in. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Quinlan from Maplewood, Minnesota. Last year, he hit 20 home runs and batted .333. And he fouls one right above us. Ball bounces back out of the field sweep. And it's a 2-1 count to Quinlan. Angelo Rain made 1 start against Salt Lake. That was his first start of the year back. Season opening homestand. Salt Lake was here. And at 51s, wound up winning 3 out of 4. That ball sliced foul right into the Salt Lake bullpen. And going after it down there is Bart Mijatovic, getting an early wind sprint in toward the corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count on Quinlan. Lorraine up top and has a look in at Coy Hill. The windup in the 2-2 pitch. Fastball, a bomb to left field, hooking foul. They let the fastball out over the plate, and Quinlan got every bit of that one and hit on the top of the grassy slope over there. 2-2.
Ball almost completely left the ballpark. There's that second retaining fence out there beyond the trees in foul territory. Landed a couple of feet in front of that.
Lorraine 3-2, 4.23 ERA. Back with the 2-2 pitch, and it's a foul ball the other way to the right. That's back in the seats. Still 2-2 to Rob Quinlan. Lorraine has pitched 44 in 2/3 innings before today, allowing 58 hits. He's walked 18 while striking out 23. And he has allowed 6 home runs. The league batting average against Lorraine so far, .310, although it's better than that as a starter. Here's the 2-2 look, and the pitch coming to Quinlan. Fastball popped up foul, back of it, plate, and Coy Hill's going to watch that one fall into the red seats down below. Now it falls at a fellow racing down the aisle into the yellow seating section. Grabs that one. Symbol celebrating. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He looked like one of the guys from Beverly Hills 90210.
Which one?
They all have the same sideburns. Here's the pitch. A drive to deep left center field. That ball's hammered. Chen and Ruan racing back, looking up. It's off the wall. Chen will let Ruan pick it up and play it back in. It's a booming double for Rob Quinlan.
Well, the Angels like Quinlan as a prospect and certainly showed us a little bit as to why he hung in there with 2 strikes, continued to get a piece of the baseball. And Lorraine finally gave him one that he could do something with, and he drove it to one of the deeper parts of the ballpark, deep off the left center field fence.
Here's Keith Johnson, the cleanup man. Another ex-Dodger in this lineup. Johnson drafted by the Dodgers, young man out of Stockton, California, who last year spent part of the offseason in Las Vegas. And Johnson in the batter's box now. He's also spent some time in the Arizona Diamondback system. The pitch. And the right-handed hitting Johnson takes a sinking fastball low for ball 1. 1 ball to no strikes. Keith Johnson with a batting average of .250, 1 home run, and 18 runs batted in. Johnson, one of the few hitters at this level who will go up there without batting gloves. Quinlan at second base with 2 down. And Lorraine checks Quinlan and comes home with a 1-0 pitch. Fastball just low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Salt Lake team is managed by Mike Brumley. The pitching coach is Rich Bombard. Hitting coach Jim Eppard. Vegas in this series looking to turn things around. They're hoping for results similar to the results that opened the season here when they beat Salt Lake 3 out of 4. Here's the 2-0. High foul to the right back out of play, 2-1. They began a string of 5 consecutive home series in which Vegas won 3 out of 4. That series was broken by Tucson, the last homestand, who split with a 51. And then, of course, Portland just split. Vegas looking for a little retribution for losing 3 out of 4 in Salt Lake in the last road trip. losing a couple of games by 1 run that they easily could have won. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Johnson from Lorraine. Fastball's low. It's 3-1, and on deck is Barry Wesson. They lost a 76 game in Game 1 that Paul Shuey started on rehab. And Shuey was an out away from getting out of the first inning unscathed. But Shuey failed to catch Kookie Dawkins' throw at first base to complete what would have been a 3-6-1 double play to finish the inning. And dropped it. Here's a 3-1 pitch to Keith Johnson. He hits the ground ball to third. 2 hops, backhanded by Eric Riggs. He throws across to first in time, and the inning is over. Anyway, Salt Lake went on to score 3 runs in the inning as Adam Riggs touched Shuey for a home run. And Salt Lake won that game 7-6. No runs in the first for Salt Lake on 1 hit. No errors and 1 left. The end of half inning of play. Salt Lake nothing, and Las Vegas against Steve Green coming up.
In my quest to classify and consume every single object at AM/PM, I began to hallucinate that I was drinking from a waterfall of golden suds. A mermaid swam up and offered me a pretzel. She called herself Sarah Vesa. Make your own discovery at AM/PM, where a 12-pack of Corona is just $9.99. AM/PM, too much good stuff.
At participating stores for a limited time, prices may vary. You must be 21 years of age or older to purchase alcoholic beverages. AM/PM reminds you not to drink and drive. When you drink, always have a designated driver.
51's baseball and the Jungle. Jim Rome, weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1460.
Yes, I do have Cox digital cable at home, and I'm your typical channel surfer.
My favorite movie quote is from the movie The Wild One. The waitress asked Marlon Brando, "Johnny, what are you rebelling against?" And he says, "What do you got?"
My favorite movie is Stalag 17.
Go ahead, make my day. My all-time favorite is Blade.
Scarface. You got to put Scarface in there, man.
Yes, I think Keanu Reeves is
I like Humphrey Bogart because he's not your characteristic good-looking guy in the movie.
I love action-type movies.
I like Friday the 13th.
I love cartoons myself.
The Discovery Channel.
The How-To Channel.
MTV, BET, anything in the field of music. The Rolling Stones, the Beatles. That's James Brown. That's the king.
My passion is entertainment, completely.
My name's Van.
I'm Blondell Johnson.
Well, my name is Mark.
We're Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age.
Score big with your family. Call Cox Communications, and you can access over 250 channels with packages starting under $9 a month. Call 383-4000 to order. Some restrictions apply. Call for details.
Welcome back, friends. Along with Tim Nevitt, Russ Langer with you. And Salt Lake did not score in the top of the first against Andrew Lorraine, and now Steve Green takes them out. Green had arm miseries that forced him to miss about a season and a half's worth of action at one point in his career. He's 6'2", 190. He's 25 years old. And he missed all of last year recovering from surgery. And because he's the expert on such matters, I'll let Tim Neverett pronounce his hometown.
Longueuil, Longueuil, Quebec. Kirk Servant, beauty. Thank you. Merci.
Okay. And Steve Green will deliver to Joe Thurston. Fastball's up and away, ball 1. Joe Thurston, hitting .280. He's got 3 home runs on the year. And Green's 1-0 pitch, and that fastball's a strike on the outside. It is a ball and a strike to Joe Thurston. Thurston with 17 runs batted in. And the 1-1 pitch from Green. Fastball's low. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike to Joe Thurston. Steve Green, who's been a little on and off this year. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Thurston hits a ground ball to the right side, and a diving effort by Durrington. He picks it up and throws him out. Durrington able to juggle that ball as he slid to the ground, but stayed with it, kept it in front of him, and threw Thurston out. Nice play, 1 out.
Used everything he could, including his face, to keep that ball in front of him. Well, this goes to show you, if you stay with it, you can retire anybody, including a guy who runs as well as Joe Thurston.
And Green, who was a 10th round pick of the Angels in the 97 draft, with 1 out here, will go up against Eric Riggs. Bubba Crosby with the night off tonight, league's top hitter. Simply taking the night off. Riggs fouls him back, strike 1, 0-1. Riggs hitting .265 with 4 homers and 18 runs batted in. This is Green's 6th professional season in the Angels organization. He had the Tommy John surgery. Here's the pitch. That's low. 1 ball and 1 strike to Eric Riggs. And the 1-1. Riggs hits a line drive to center field. Ramirez going back on the ball, turns and puts it away. Julio Ramirez capturing the long drive to center field by Riggs.
Well, showtime as he took that ball at the waist. He backpedaled and caught the ball right on his belt buckle. He didn't turn his glove into a basket catch either. He just kind of held it up there normally, dropping it from his chest. That's a little bit of showmanship.
A little flash and dash.
That's fine if you catch it. If you drop it, then don't come back to the dugout.
Suddenly not so fine. 2 outs, and here's Barnes. He takes outside ball 1. Barnes was in the big leagues when these two teams hooked up in Salt Lake. So here's the 1-0 pitch to him, hitting drive to right center field. Ramirez is not going to get this one, regardless of how he tries to catch it. He goes to the wall, and he can't get it, so Wesson picks it up. Barnes racing for 3 bases. The relay from Durrington on a bounce is too late, and he's safe at third.
Good pickup by Barnes. Coming around second base, he saw where the Salt Lake outfielders are having a bit of a problem with the exchange. Ramirez not able to play it off the base of the wall. Wesson was able to pick it up, and Barnes picking it up and making the judgment himself to go to third on the play. So now 90 feet away for the first run of the ball game possibly, and Chad Hermanson at the plate.
A triple all the way for Barnes. He's at third with 2 outs, and the batter's Chad Hermanson. The pitch. Fastball to strike at the knees. 0-1. Barnes with 3 triples now. And Hermanson, always a lot of friends and family in the stands. He's hitting .444 since arriving. Fastball low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hermanson, no home runs, 1 run batted in. The DH today. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Green. The pitch. Fastball is inside. Ball 2. 2-1. On defense, Salt Lake with Will Nieves, normally a catcher at first base. Trent Durrington at second. Adonis Harrison at short. And Keith Johnson at third. Bob Quinlan left. Julio Ramirez in center. Barry Weston right. Tom Gregorio catching for Steve Green. 2-1 is line to center for a base hit. Barnes will score as Ramirez gets to the ball. And Chad Hermanson has another base hit, and it's 1-0 Vegas in the bottom of the first. Good patient hitting right there.
Good patient hitting is right. He came inside on him a couple of times, tried to back him off the plate, but Hermanson's been around a little bit. And he saw a straight one that was low in the strike zone and just drove it right back to the box to drive in the game's first run.
Well, pretty much everyone has hit the ball well in the first 4 hitters off Barnes. Thurston a sharp ground ball. Riggs a line drive to center. Barnes a triple. And Hermanson singling him in. The pitch is outside ball 1 to catcher Coy Hill. Hill hitting .377. Average has cooled a little bit, but you figure it had to. He was hitting way over 400 when he first came up from Jacksonville. And the Hill with no homers and 6 runs batted in. 1 ball and no strikes. Hermanson not too big of a lead off first, and Hill takes one a little bit outside, maybe 2-0. Green has some big league time with Anaheim in 2001. He pitched in 1 game and went 6 innings as a starter. Did not have a decision in the game, going 6 innings and allowing 2 runs earned on 4 hits. So to first, and back in there's Hermanson. Green attended Fort Scott Community College in Kansas in 1996 and 97. Here's a 2-0 look now as Hermanson takes his lead off first, being held on by Nieves. 2-0 pitch. A high fly ball to deep left field. Quinlan going back, angling toward the corner. He is in front of the warning track to reach up and make the catch, and he'll give it a good ride, but he's out. And Las Vegas is finished in the first. They score once on 2 hits, no errors and 1 left, and at the end of 1. Las Vegas 1, Salt Lake nothing.
Call 383-0383 to place your artisan classified ads, where you can buy and sell most anything through the artisan classified ads. Well, now there's TVs, bicycles, and stereos too. From antiques to zebras, the classifieds are here for you. Call 383-0383 to place your artisan classified ads. 383-0383. If you've got a or a book that you want to sell, or your needs repair, you like a or a book, or maybe a or sell a home, or get a job, pick up the phone and let the artisan work for you. Call 383-0383 to place your artisan classified at 383. 383-0383.
51's Baseball and Tim Brando at noon weekdays on Sports Radio 1460.
Get more when you play. Get more in every way at Jerry's Nugget Casino. Cash your paycheck at Jerry's Nugget and you could win $1 million. Every spin is guaranteed to win great prizes like a new car, a new truck, loads of cash, and much, much more. Cash your paycheck at Jerry's Nugget and win. Jerry's Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Las Vegas 51. Jerry's Nugget Casino. Just minutes from Cashman Field on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Welcome back again, friends, along with Tim Never. Russ Langer with you, top of the second, a 1-0 lead for the Las Vegas 51. Angela Lorraine will face Barry Wesson, Julio Ramirez, and Will Nieves. Well, tell us about the experience of broadcasting for the Rebels, Tim, because obviously the team is on the verge of perhaps doing some very big things.
Well, they went down to Albuquerque last weekend and played in the Mountain West Conference Tournament, won their first ever championship, 4 straight games. Really blew out the field, too. Double digits in hits and runs in each of the games. Had to beat Tony Gwynn's San Diego State Aztecs twice in order to be the champions, and they did so. And really, none of the games were close. It was amazing. They went down 8-1 in one game, scored 10 runs the following inning. So they can score runs. So this weekend they'll go down to Tempe, Arizona, take on New Mexico State, Central Connecticut State, and Arizona State in that NCAA regional. If they come out of there, they'll go to the Super Regional the following weekend.
And best of luck to the Rebels. Barry Wesson will lead things off in the top of the second, with Las Vegas leading 1-0 as Andrew Lorraine goes to the motion and the pitch. Fastball, that's a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Lorraine seems to be a little better off as a starter. He seems to be more comfortable in that role. Never really seemed to look like he belonged out of the bullpen. Here's the 0-1 to Wesson, hitting .265. He fouls one back, and he's down 2 strikes now. Barry Wesson, who was with the Astros organization, had a pretty good year last year at New Orleans in this year. In this particular league, I should say, hitting .293 with 11 homers. 11 homers in New Orleans is like hitting probably 18 or 19 anywhere else, at least. And he drove in 61 runs for them. The 0-2 pitch to Wesson. He hits a high foul to the right back out of play.
Ball doesn't carry very well down there below sea level, does it?
And the ballpark is huge. Gary Gaetti, Zephyr's hitting coach last year, said it was the toughest place to hit it he has ever seen. Gary Gaetti has seen a few yards. 0-2 to count to Wesson. Wesson has 3 homers and 19 RBIs for Salt Lake this year. The 2-strike pitch. And he delivers a little high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lorraine has a fastball, a cutter, an overhand curveball, and a straight changeup. 1-2 to Wesson. And the windup in the pitch. A ground ball past Lorraine up the middle. A diving effort by Klopinski to stop it. He throws from his knees too late. And it's an infield hit for Barry Wesson. Nice effort by Klopinski. But Wesson safe.
Speaking of college baseball, Russ, we also should mention that the Community College of Southern Nevada, the junior college team here that's in the Junior College World Series, won again today. They beat Spartanburg Methodist 10-0 in 5 innings. They 10-runned them today. So now they have a day off tomorrow. They'll play in their semifinal game on Thursday. And should they win that, they'll be in the national championship game.
Ramirez chops one foul outside third, strike 1, 0-1. Mighty fine accomplishment for that ball club.
It's a remarkable story considering the team didn't even exist 4 years ago.
They're trying to diamond back the field.
Yes, indeed. And
4 years later, you win the whole thing.
Head coach Tim Chambers has done a great job. The last World Series he was in was here at this ballpark when he skippered the Bishop Gorman Legion team to the World Series 5 years ago.
0-1 pitch. Ramirez bunts at the third base side. Coming in is Rick. Near the goes to third, and Ramirez goes to second. It is a bunt single for Ramirez and a throwing error on Eric Riggs. Second and third, nobody out.
Good bunt by Ramirez. He's got such good speed, too. Getting down that line. But he bunted kind of hard, and he kept it on the grass up the third base line. And Riggs, who was back with a runner on, was back too far for Ramirez. Trying to barehand and throw in the same motion, and it's kind of tough to do that, especially when you have to lean over a little bit farther to his right, like Riggs did.
Here's Nieves hitting .238 with a homer, 11 runs batted in. Ramirez was at .243 before that bunt single. And the pitch. Drive to deep left center field, racing over Chen and Ruan. Ruan makes the catch. Scores. The throw goes to third base, and the score is tied at 1 on a sacrifice fly by Will Nieves.
Wilkin Ruan fired the ball to third. Under Wesson, conceding the run. Ball was hit deep enough. Wesson's going to score. Well,
I've never seen a lineup quite like this one. The kitchen is loaded. The placemats are set. The bowls are on the table. He sees his granola crunch. He grabs the door. He swings. It's Anderson Dairy Milk all the way. Nothing makes breakfast taste better than milk. Over cereal with eggs, toast, and jam. Or add some chocolate and shake things up. Here's our pitch. Milk. It's a real team player. From Anderson Dairy, the dairy experts.
Boulder Creek Golf Club is designed to create opportunities to play, improve, and enjoy the great game of golf. It was created for you. When you're ready, day or night, to practice, learn, or play, call Boulder Creek Golf Club in Boulder City, easily reached from the Las Vegas Valley at 702-294-6534. When your group or organization is planning a golf tournament, call the staff and find out about creative ways to make your outing a success. Boulder Creek Golf Club, home of Montana's restaurant in Boulder City, Nevada. Call to play golf now, 702-294-6534. Or try their website at bouldercreekgc.com.
51's baseball and Wild Wild West with Kurt Gerhardt and Tim Neverett. Weekdays at 2 on Sports Radio 1460. We're in the top of the second, a 1-1 game, along with Tim Neverett. Russ Langer with you. A little technical glitch right there. Hopefully we got that ironed out for you. And Julio Ramirez, the runner at second base with 1 out. Salt Lake catcher Tom Gregorio is up with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. And Andrew Lorraine delivers. And the fastball's fouled back. It's the glass, I should say, in front of the club level restaurant, and it's field sweep bound. 2 spectators going for that one. And the little guy got it. Get the hands in the pants.
You can't teach speed. And he had it.
The first step is crucial. That's what they'll tell you. 1-2. 2 years ago, the other guy would have had it.
That's
right.
He
loses step after a while. The 1-2 again from Lorraine. He turns and is going to look Ramirez back to the bag at second base. Tom Gregorio is batting .260 with a home run and 9 runs batted in from Staten Island, New York. Spent much of the last year at AA Arkansas, where he hit .250. Angels have the team in Little Rock in the Texas League. That's where the AA team is set up. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Gregorio. And Gregorio had about 2 weeks' worth in Salt Lake last year also. On deck is the shortstop, Adonis Harrison. So the 51s making a throwing error leading to a run here in the second. And as I was starting to say before, we had a little glitch there. John Shoemaker in the pregame show talking about the fact that the defense has not been what it was the first month of the season. 1-2 pitch. And Gregorio fouls it back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Shoemaker says that the whole thing is to try to get the club to maintain their concentration. And the defensive problems should take care of themselves. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Gregorio. Lorraine taking an awful lot of time out there. He has twice stepped off to look Ramirez back at second base. And very, very deliberate here. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Change up a little dunker over Barnes' head, and he can't get it. It's a fair ball. Around third is Ramirez. He'll score on a bloop single by Gregorio. It's now 2-1 in favor of Salt Lake in the top of the second inning.
That was about as good as an excuse me hit as you're ever going to find. He just got the bat in the way of the baseball. Knocked it over the head of Larry Barnes at first, and a little dunker like that drives in a run and gives Salt Lake the lead. The left-handed hitting shortstop, Adonis Harrison, comes up. Adonis Harrison, down from the lower minors, has only played in 3 games.
for Salt Lake. 3 for 9, off to a 333 start. No homers or RBIs. Harrison is 5'9", 165 from Glendale, California. 26 years old. He hits a high foul to the left back out of play. Strike one, 0-1. So Gregorio, and nobody has made solid contact in this inning, but it's kind of the way it goes for Lorraine here. Wesson the infield hit. Ramirez the bunt single coupled with a throwing error. Nieves the run-scoring fly ball. And then the bloop single by Gregorio to score the second run, the tiebreaker. And there's a fast strike on the outside. Nice pitch to Harrison, 0-2. To count. The stretch in the 0-2 pitch. Fastball, a swing and a miss, strike 3. He threw it right by him. First strikeout for Lorraine. 2 outs in the inning, and the batter's Adam Riggs. Riggs popped out to second in the first inning. Big league scores today. Baltimore beat the Angels 12-4. And former Las Vegas Star catcher, or 51's catcher from 2 years ago, I should say, Geronimo Gil was 3 for 5 with a home run, a couple of RBIs. Complete game win for Sidney Ponson. Aaron Seeley took the loss. Seeley spent some time with Salt Lake this year in rehab. Breaking ball, a strike to Riggs. That was the curveball from Lorraine, 0-1. Cleveland beat the Tigers 5-2. Toronto defeated the White Sox 5-1. The Yankees came back and beat the Red Sox 11-3 today. Andy Pettit got the win over Bruce Chen. Todd Zeile homered and drove in 3. And Texas beat Tampa Bay 4-2. Urbina, his 17th save. The 0-1 to Riggs, that's low with a fastball, 1-1. 7th inning, Seattle 14 and Kansas City 3. 2 home runs for Edgar Martinez and 5 RBIs thus far in that game. In the 8th inning, Oakland leads the Twins by a score of 3-1 behind Barry Zito, who thus far has given up only 1 hit in 7 innings, striking out 10 batters. This will be a 1-1 from Lorraine to Riggs. As a lined right base hit to center field. That's the best hit ball of the inning. And to pick the ball up is Rowan. He gets it back in. Stopping at second base is Gregorio. So Riggs, a good hitter, made solid contact here. It's 4 hits in the inning, plus the error, and the sacrifice fly. And the batter is Trent Durrington.
You go back to that Yankees-Red Sox situation. Word is that the boss is going a little bit crazy right now. I shouldn't say it that way, but that's the way others are looking at it. After the Yankees lost, 12 out of 13? 5 in a row?
At home, they've really struggled.
Yeah, they've been struggling. So for Andy Pettit and the Yankees today, it was a big win.
Here's a look in the pitch. Fastball, a strike on the inside half, 0-1.
George Steinbrenner doesn't like looking up in the standings, seeing the Red Sox in front of him.
Well, you got to feel for Joe Torre.
Yeah.
All that success, and he's got to feel like he's in the hot seat right now. 0-1 to Durrington, who fouled out to the first baseman Barnesman. A nice play into the Salt Lake bullpen right field side. Here's the 0-1. A chopper towards second, charged by Thurston. He gloves and flips it to Barnes to complete the inning. Well, the National scores in a little bit. 2 runs for Salt Lake in the second on 4 base hits and 1 error. And 2 men left. After 1.5, Salt Lake 2 and the 51s 1. Planning on vacationing with a family on a road trip? Let the outstanding GM Goodwrench Service Department at Desert GMC Buick help you to get out of town, not into trouble. Desert GMC Buick has been rated #1 in customer service satisfaction in Nevada with the latest diagnostic equipment, GM certified technicians, and genuine GM parts. So be sure your car is ready for that out-of-town trip. Come visit your GM Goodwrench Service Center, Desert GMC Buick at 6400 West Sahara in Las Vegas. Great service is something to be thankful for, and you'll find it at Desert GMC Buick.
I've never seen a lineup quite like this one. The kitchen is loaded. The placemats are set. The bowls are on the table. He sees his granola crunch. He grabs the door. He swings. It's Anderson's Dairy Milk all the way. Nothing makes breakfast taste better than milk. Over cereal with eggs, toast, and jam, or add some chocolate and shake things up. Here's our pitch. Milk. It's a real team player. from Anderson Dairy, the dairy experts.
Boulder Creek Golf Club is designed to create opportunities to play, improve, and enjoy the great game of golf. It was created for you. When you're ready, day or night, to practice, learn, or play, call Boulder Creek Golf Club in Boulder City. Easily reached from the Las Vegas Valley at 702-294-6534. When your group or organization is playing a golf tournament, call the staff and find out about creative ways to make your outing a success. Boulder Creek Golf Club, home of Montana's restaurant in Boulder City, Nevada. Call to play golf now, 702-294-6534, or try their website at bouldercreekgc.com.
Last of the second. Little Led Zeppelin here over the PA system. Can you name the tune?
I wasn't really listening, but
okay,
I'll give it a shot.
Bottom of the second, Salt Lake leading 2-1. As Steve Green loosens up right now with his catcher, Tom Gregorio. It'll be Chin Feng Chen, Chris Popinski, and Calvin Murray.
Houses of the Holy. Oh, that's the album.
Actually, this is from their third album, which is Led Zeppelin 3, the Immigrant Song.
I used to listen to Led Zeppelin 4 on the 8-track.
Totally, dude. I can just see you.
Yeah, we drive around in the panel-sided station wagon, the LTD.
You know, I bet when you were about 12, you looked like that kid from Almost Famous.
I think I did.
We looked like that. And I think that both of us listened to a lot of the same stuff. I get that impression. Chen leads it off against Steve Green, and the Stingers getting 2 in the second off Lorraine to take a 2-1 lead. And Chen, meanwhile, looks at a fast strike down the middle, 0-1. Chin with a .280 average. He's driven in 28 runs. The pitch is inside, and the count to him is even now. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chin with 5 home runs on the season, playing left field this evening, followed by Chris Klopinski and Calvin Murray. Fastball grounded to short. To his right is Harrison. He's got this one. Fires on the first base and gets him. 1 down to the batter, Chris Klopinski. We'll give you some National League scores now. We have a moment here. Expos and the Marlins were rained out in Miami. Imagine that. Rain in Miami this time of the year. Surely you jest. 9th inning, Mets 4, Phillies 1. Al Leida has given up only 2 hits over 6 innings, but he's walked 6. The Mets have the lead. Jeremy Burnett's a home run there. 8th inning, Reds and the Braves are tied at 2. Vinny Castilla, a home run. Vinny Castilla is a buddy of yesterday's starting pitcher for the 51s, Victor Alvarez. Here's Klopinski. The pitch. Fastball's up and in, ball 1. 1-0 every time. Victor Alvarez and I are around in the clubhouse. He wants to know how the Braves have done. And invariably he'll say, how did Castilla do? Here's the 1-0 pitch. Klopinski sends a high pop-up. Out not far from second base. The second baseman Durrington wants it, drifting back a step to make the catch on Klopinski, who ended the game with an average of 274. 2 down, and the batter Calvin Murray. 7th inning, Pirates 9 and the Cubs 2. 7th inning, Astros and Cardinals tied at 3. 4th inning, Rockies are threatening the Dodgers' 10-game winning streak. They lead LA 5-1. Kazi Shii was the starter against Aaron Cook. Larry Walker has tripled and driven 2 runs. There's a ball dribbled to third baseline. Green picks it up with his bare hand and drops it. And it's a bunt single for Calvin Murray. Nicely done.
They caught everybody off guard. 2 outs. Johnson in the third's playing back, and it was a good bunt down the third baseline. Plus, he gets out of the batter's box pretty well, runs well. And Green tried to field it, picked it up along the third baseline, bobbled it, but that didn't matter because Murray would have beaten it out anyway.
Brewers Padres no score, and no score in the Diamondbacks game either. Here's Ruan. That's the 3rd hit for Vegas. Murray came in at 248, and now here is Ruan, who takes a fastball low and outside, ball 1. 1-0. Ruan at 268, no homers and 16 runs batted in. Checks John Shoemaker for a sign. There's a possibility. You might want to send Murray at some point here. You would have Ruan leading off if Murray were to get caught. Murray has 7 out of 8 in steals. Throw to first base, and he's back in. 1 ball and no strikes to count.
Kirk Ehrheim, and on Wild Wild West, we'll give you sports the way you like it. For example, how would John Robinson handle the Mike Price fiasco? Well, here's a clue.
We're paying coaches a lot of money now. Both those men that were fired were making over $1 million a year. When you pay somebody $1 million, you got a right to ask a lot of things from them.
It's sports the way you like it on Wild Wild West. Join Tim Everett and me every weekday at 2 p.m. on Sports Radio 1460.
Wild Wild West.
I'm so relieved the FDIC insures my stock investments. I'd hate to lose my nest egg.
Hey, wake up and smell the coffee. FDIC is for banks, not stocks. No one insures your investments.
So I could lose all my money?
You could. But the good news is the Securities Investor Protection Corporation can help you get back your securities investments if your broker goes bankrupt. It's right here at www.sipc.org.
Welcome back, friends. It is a 2-1 lead for Salt Lake, and if you missed it because of the technical trouble, Las Vegas did not score in the bottom of the second after Calvin Murray's bunt single. He advanced to second base on Steve Green's errant pickoff attempt, which bounced away from the first baseman, Will Nieves, who is playing out of position now. He's over at first. And Wilkin Ruan grounded out 6-3 to finish the second. So we have a moment. Tim and I will tell you a little bit more about, first of all, Tim, you mentioned the trip to Albuquerque, and a lot of people are curious about that new ballpark in Albuquerque, and I have not had a chance to see it, and you have, so let's hear it.
I was camped out there last week, and it was my second trip there, as a matter of fact, but the Albuquerque Isotopes, or as some old-time hardliners in Albuquerque like to call them, the Iso Dukes, named after the Albuquerque Dukes, former Dukes, play in a brand-new ballpark, which is considered a renovated ballpark. They did leave one wall up, one stairwell up, basically, so they could get it as a renovated park. But it's basically brand new. It's nothing like you and I remember the old one, and it is gorgeous. It seats about 10,000. There is an upper deck on the left side of the stadium. There's 2 levels of club suites. The press box is fantastic. It's got 3 separate radio booths, a separate television booth, a separate camera booth, and then the area where the writers are, and of course the all-important area where you get your press meal are spacious, and everything is new and state-of-the-art. They've got an enormous scoreboard out in left field that has the Diamond Vision on it, so you get live video. It's just beautiful, and it really is up to par with what's happening in AAA ballparks today. The job that they've done is remarkable, and as a result, it has turned into much greater attendance there. They're averaging over 7,000 a game.
Ball club is kind of skating along now. 21 wins and 29 losses coming in. The teams can get away with that with the novelty of a new ballpark initially. We played 2-1 Salt Lake, and for the play-by-play of innings 3 and 4, here is Tim.
Rob Quinlan, the third batter in the order, doubled his last time up, and he swings at the first pitch from Andrew Lorraine, and he hits it into short right center field. A great play by Calvin Murray, sliding on one leg to take a hit away from Rob Quinlan. 1 pitch and 1 away in the Salt Lake third.
Boy, the ball really looked like it was going to fall in there between Murray, Ruan, and Thurston, but Murray with a good first step to get after it and made a nice play.
Ruan, the center fielder, and the second baseman, Thurston, also closing in on the ball, but Murray calling him off and making the sliding grab. So Keith Johnson, the Las Vegan, and third baseman, bounced out to third base where Eric Riggs threw him out to end the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Johnson, another right-handed hitter in this lineup of right-handers against the left-handed starter, Andrew Lorraine. He takes ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Johnson a homer, 18 runs batted in. Average has dipped a couple of points to 248. He rips this one foul down the third baseline, and the count even a ball and a strike. As you mentioned, Johnson has been around the Pacific Coast League. Owns a home here in Vegas. Working for the Angels in Salt Lake. The 1-1 pitch, off speed, just barely missed the corner. 2 balls and 1 strike to Keith Johnson. Well, the 51s put up a single run with 2 outs in the first inning after Barnes tripled off the right center field wall. Chad Hermanson drove him in. Chopper fouled up the third base line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hermanson getting his second RBI since joining the club. This is his first homestand in Las Vegas as a member of the home team. He's been here before with Nashville, but he joined the team in Tucson on the road on the last road trip. Hermanson, the DH, former #1 draft choice, 10th overall out of Green Valley. So a lot of folks coming out to see Chad Hermanson play while he's in town. The wind of the 2-2 pitch to Johnson. He swings and he pops it up. Coy Hill, the catcher, dishes the mask away, reaches up, makes the catch, and there are 2 down. That'll be Barry Wesson.
Johnson was jammed by Lorraine. Did a good job of getting in on him. He able to foul that one up in the air right behind the plate.
Wesson singled. He eventually came around to score. He advanced to third on a throwing error by Eric Riggs, but his run would be earned when Tom Gregorio got a base hit to knock him in. Wesson swings at the first pitch and flies a foul over the right side stands. Up into the bleachers. 0-1. Wesson hitting .269. 3 home runs, 19 runs batted in. The right-handed hitter waits, and the left-hander Lorraine deals, and that pitch is low for a ball. 1-1. 51's 3-7 in their last 10 ball games. They have watched the red-hot Sacramento River Cats overtake them in the standings. 1-1 pitch, and that is high. Sacramento, meantime, is 7-3 in their last 10. They lead the South Division with a record of 34-17. 31-20, the record for Las Vegas coming into tonight. 2-1 pitch. Swung on. It's hit high in the air to shallow right. Calvin Murray, with all kinds of room, makes the catch, and that's the inning. 3 up and 3 down on the top of the third. We play 2.5 at Cashman Field. The score, Salt Lake 2, Las Vegas 1.
Subway's gourmet breads make our sandwiches even tastier, like the new Italian urban cheese, fresh baked with savory spices, topped with a tasty blend of Monterey and cheddar cheeses that are baked right in.
When you smell the fresh baked bread, gotta get to Subway. Subway, eat fresh.
Hello from Telepacific Communications, your better choice provider for business communication needs. Call today and ask how you can get your first month free or free co-location services. Ask for a no-obligation consultation to ensure you're not paying too much, and we'll also make you aware of how to access our no-charge conference calling services just for allowing us to meet with you. Our number is 800-399-4925. Again, 800-399-4925, or on the web at telepacific.com.
Hamden and Oasis Apartment Homes are proud sponsors of the Las Vegas 51. Hamden and Oasis Apartment Homes are here to provide you with 37 locations in the Las Vegas and Henderson communities. From studios to 3-bedroom family-sized apartment homes, there's something to fit anyone's needs in everyone's budget. Stop by any Hamden and Oasis Apartment Home complex, or while you're at the ballpark, check out their ad and play ball. Hamden and Oasis Apartment Homes, the only choice in apartments.
Tim Crucial and the nation's leading handicapper. The Las Vegas Sports Wire. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Only on Sports Radio 1460 KENO Las Vegas.
Joe Thurston will lead off the bottom of the third inning for the Las Vegas 51s against right-hander Steve Green. It's 2-1 Salt Lake. And Green to face Thurston for the second time of the ball game. Thurston grounded out to the second baseman, Trent Durrington. In the first inning, Durrington made a good play on him as Thurston pulled it to the right side. Green delivers, and Thurston swings, and he drives one deep to center field. Backing up is Julio Ramirez. He'll make the catch, and there's one away. And he makes that waist-high catch on the fly balls, which, if I'm Mike Brumley, makes me nervous.
Especially when your team has given up 27 runs in the last 2 days.
Well, Thurston was out there first ball swinging. Green grooved one. And Thurston drove one into center field for an out. One down for Eric Riggs. Ball 1 to Riggs. 1 ball, no strikes. Riggs at 264. He flied out to center field back in the first inning. He takes inside for ball 2, 2-0. And the third quarter of the NBA playoffs tonight. San Antonio leads Dallas 66-51. Curveball for a called strike, 2-1. Spurs trying to wrap up that series tonight, Russ, and go and take on a team from New Jersey. And in what would be an all-ABA final. Remember the old original American Basketball Association, the Spurs and the Nets?
Break out the red, white, and blue ball.
Let's not go that far.
Why not?
Anyway, New Jersey's awaiting them. They knocked off Detroit 4 straight. 3-1 pitch, called strike 2 to Riggs. So it'll be San Antonio more than likely should they finish off Dallas tonight. And the Stanley Cup Finals, Game 1, New Jersey shuts out Anaheim, 3-0. Riggs, a ground ball right side. Durrington one-hands it. From short right field, throws him out, 2 away. So it's the Devils beating Anaheim 3-0.
Last time I saw Bruce Springsteen in concert, he made the biggest deal about New Jersey. It was really good. It was really funny. He talked about how they get the Stanley Cup. The Devils had won. Stanley Cup happens to be located in New Jersey. And the New Jersey Nets having great success. They're in New Jersey. The Statue of Liberty is in New Jersey. He kept going on and on like that.
Barnes takes strike 1, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. And Barnes breaks his bat as he lifts this one over the mound. One-hand play by Harrison, the shortstop, and he throws him out. So the 51s go quietly in the third. 1-2-3. We'll head to the top of the fourth. Salt Lake with a 2-1 lead.
I'm Linda Cohn, Sports Center anchor and ESPN Zone's quality control inspector. That's right, ESPN Zone undergoes my rigorous 16-point inspection process, making it a place where fans come in week after week, game after game. There's the Linda Cohn taste test, where our famous American grill is tasted by yours truly. ESPN Zone's ribs. I'm thinking they could use a little more of our original sauce.
Linda, that's your second helping. Linda?
ESPN Zone, a taste of ESPN.
Free 51s tickets at 51 after the hour, noon to 6. Plus a trip to see the Dodgers every Thursday on ESPN Radio 920.
One Tuesday, lunchtime, a businessman ambled through a leafy city park wearing a subtle grin. His good humor could have been attributed to the promise of spring or the smiles of passers-by. But in truth, it came from, of all places, his new bank, Bank of America. Simply because they delivered on a promise. Free checking plus, plus, plus. You see, he never wanted a bank to entertain him or to tell him how to live. He simply wanted his banking to be better. And better it now was. With more ATMs where he needed them, unlimited online bill paying, and total security protection for lost or stolen check cards. All free. So today, he had fewer things on his mind, thanks in small part to the plus, plus, plus of Bank of America. Higher standards.
Free checking requires direct deposit. Visit bankofamerica.com, member FDIC.
Along with Russ Langer, Tim Neverett back here at Cashman Field, 2-1. Salt Lake with the lead over the 51s, and Andrew Lorraine this inning will face Julio Ramirez, followed by Will Nieves and Tom Gregorio. Each team going in order last inning. 6 outs total in the third. Certainly that's all it would take, but they only saw 6 batters. 3 up and 3 down for the Salt Lake Stingers, and 3 up and 3 down for the Las Vegas 51. So that brings us to the top of the fourth inning, where left-hander Andrew Lorraine set to face Julio Ramirez. He reached on a single, advanced to second on a throw by Eric Riggs. He bunted one down the third baseline rather hard. Riggs tried to field and throw with a bare hand in the same motion and threw it away. First pitch to Ramirez, swung on, hit in the air to right center field. That'll make the gap, and that one's going to get down and bounce off the wall. Ramirez quickly around first, and he is into second with a stand-up double to start the Salt Lake fourth.
Got a pitch out over the plate and just went right with it.
So Ramirez now is 2 for 2. Boy, can he run. He took a wide turn around first base, and he was halfway to second by the time that ball hit off the bottom of the wall. Hook and Rowan getting it back in quickly. So nobody out, a runner on second base for Will Nieves. Nieves playing first base tonight, 238 hitter. He sacrificed in a run, scoring Wesson from third base. Ramirez would score, driven in by Gregorio back in the second inning. So Ramirez the lead from second. Lorraine the stretch, and the pitch to Nieves is fouled off down the right side. 0-1. Eric Riggs playing off the base at third for the right-hand hitter. And with nobody out and a runner at second base, Nieves, if he hits one on the ground, will try to go to the right side. They're playing him deep there. The 0-1. Swung on, fouled back. And at least one of the two sports writers sitting next to me was not paying attention and was surprised when the ball hit the glass in front of him. I won't tell you which one it was, but you'll definitely read his byline in the morning. No balls, 2 strikes to Nieves. Ramirez, the runner at second base, gets his lead. Here's the 0-2 from Lorraine. Ground ball right side. Barnes, the first baseman, will field it. Step on third, and that advances the runner 90 feet. The 1 out as Nieves is gone, 3 unassisted, and the batter will be Tom Gregorio. RBI single in the second inning. He's 1 for 1. Well, not a bad job by Nieves. Got an 0-2 pitch he could handle. And effectively did the same thing as a sacrifice bunt by moving the runner over to third. Now Coy Hill, the catcher, out to talk to Andrew Lorraine. And we'll see how the 51's infield decides to play this in the 4th inning of a 2-1 ball game. 2 runs on 6 hits. No errors for Salt Lake. For the 51's, 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error. And at the plate, the catcher, Tom Gregorio. Gregorio brought his average up 9 points with that RBI single in the second inning. He's now at 269. So the infield will be drawn in. The outfield straight away and at medium depth. 51s will try to cut this run down. Lorraine, the stretch and the pitch to the right-hand hitting catcher Gregorio is a ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Gregorio. Rodney Myers taking a walk down to the 51's bullpen right now. 1-0 pitch on the outside corner for a called strike, 1-1. I think Myers has a cup of coffee or a glass of water or something on his glove, so he's just going out there to spectate. Yeah, the infield is drawn in with 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. Salt Lake with a 2-1 lead. A 1 ball, 1 strike pitch coming to the Salt Lake catcher, Tom Gregorio. Lorraine, the stretch and the pitch, swung on, fouled back. That is off the sun out above the club level restaurant. And I believe the gentleman might have caught that ball with his cup. I don't know, we're kind of shaded up here, but quite a response down below. Normally when you catch a foul ball with your cup, whatever's in the cup seems to go all over the place. Gregorio, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Infield in trying to cut down that run. The stretch by Lorraine. The kick and the 1-2. Just missed outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No wind at all to speak of. Temperature game time 106. A warm evening. Summer is upon us here in Las Vegas. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Lorraine looks in. Here's the pitch. Swung on, ground ball up the middle. It's 3-1. Gregorio just put it right back through the box, and with the infield drawn in, there's a lot more room. So he is 2 for 2 with 2 runs batted in. And scoring from third is Julio Ramirez.
Lorraine had been working Gregorio away on the outside, and he tried to get in on him that time, it looked like, but he did not get in enough. The ball wasn't hit that hard, but Gregorio just pushing it right through.
Shortstop Adonis Harrison struck out in the second, just overmatched by Andrew Lorraine. Left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball to the inside corner for a strike called 0-1. We were talking about New Jersey. The fact that the Nets are in the NBA Finals. The Devils are up 1-0 now in the Stanley Cup Finals. 0-1 pitch. That missed outside with a fastball, 1-1. And then also consider this. Consider that the Yankees, trying to get back to the World Series, there is a common thread there. Do you know who that is? George Steinbrenner. The company is known as Yankee Nets. 1-1 pitch. That one's fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Harrison. And Yankee Nets is this big conglomeration that owns the Yankees, the Nets, the Devils, the Yes television network, all that stuff. And Steinbrenner, who, of course, is the majority owner of the Yankees, is a minority owner of the other two teams in the NBA and NHL. So they're doing pretty well. 1-2 pitch. Off speed, is hit high and deep to left field. Going back is Chen. In front of the warning track, he makes the catch. And retreating from second to first is Gregorio. There are now 2 away.
Emphasis on the word minority owner.
Right. The boss is not going to go on the bench and fire the Devils coach or the Nets coach, Byron Scott. He's not going to go down there and do that kind of thing, but he just sort of sits back and lets them count the money for him. But the Yankees, that's a different story.
I don't see Rick Cerrone going in for Martin Brodeur any day soon.
No. Adam Riggs, the designated hitter, is 1 out of 2. He takes a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. 0-1 the count. But when you live in the New York area, you kind of look down on New Jersey. The New Yorkers look down on New Jersey, and the New Jersey people are proud of what they've got. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, line drive, right field. Calvin Murray moves over a couple of steps, makes the catch, and that's the inning. So for Salt Lake in the top of the 4th, they get a run on 2 hits. They leave a man. And at the end of 3.5 from Cashman Field, it's the Salt Lake Stingers 3, Las Vegas 51s 1.
This is a Verizon Wireless commercial.
Heard about sending unlimited text messages with free up from Verizon Wireless? It's GR8. Great. Now through June 1st, send text messages absolutely free.
2AC.
Too cool, huh? There's no long-term contracts, no monthly fees.
3X. Why ADA?
No yada yada yada. Just pay as you go. Need a new phone? You're really
14UNA.
fortunate. Now get a cool Motorola V120C for only $69.99 after $30 mail-in rebate with the purchase of a startup card. Call 1-800-2-JOIN-IN. If that went by WA2FFT way too fast. It's 1-800-2-JOIN-IN. And check out freeup.com for music, ringtones, and freebies. Want to send unlimited text messages? Call 1-800-2-JOIN-IN. Come to a Verizon Wireless Communications store or go to freeup.com.
THNS.
You're welcome.
Subject to terms of prepaid agreement. Benefits may apply. 5 cents per text message received. Other charges and restrictions apply. While supplies last, CD may two-way giveable phone required.
51's baseball on Papa Joe on your drive home. Sports Radio 1460.
In my quest to classify and consume every single object at AM/PM, I began to hallucinate that I was drinking from a waterfall of golden suds. A mermaid swam up and offered me a pretzel. She called herself Sarah Vesa.
Make your own discovery at AM/PM, where a 12-pack of Corona is just $9.99. AM/PM, too much good stuff.
At participating stores for a limited time, prices may vary. You must be 21 years of age or older to purchase alcoholic beverages. AM/PM reminds you not to drink and drive. When you drink, always have a designated driver.
Chad Hermanson will lead off for the 51s to start the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 3-1. Salt Lake with the lead. They banged out 7 hits for the 51s, 3 against right-hander Steve Green. Green is 3-2, 4.8 the earned run average coming into activity here, making his 9th start, 9th appearance. Struck out 24 and walked 16. I think the important thing for Green, too, especially when you look at the Pacific Coast League, is that in his 44 1/3 innings, he's only given up 2 home runs. In the Pacific Coast League, you're going to give up some. So Green, the right-hander, into the wide. The first pitch to Chad Hermanson is a breaking ball in there for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike to Hermanson. The 0-1 quickly. Another breaking ball. This one is lifted into right center field. A base hit, and Hermanson leads off the 4th with a single, and that'll bring a tying run to the plate. So Hermanson 2 for 2.
Salt Lake looking to Steve Green to try to stem the opposition's tremendous offensive outburst the last 2 days. Giving it the 27 runs, and Green has beaten Vegas twice, 2 of his 3 wins against the 51s, and beat them here, first homestand of the year, and then just beat them in Salt Lake again.
Now Coy Hill, the catcher. Flied out deep to left field to end the first inning. Standing in from the left side, Green out of the stretch and a pitch. Hill takes low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Reading an interesting article in the Las Vegas Sun the other day about local product Chris Latham, who was with Salt Lake when they were affiliated with the Minnesota Twins. He went to basic high school. He's now playing in Japan. 1-0 pitch doesn't come. Throw over to first base, and Hermanson back.
Used to play in Salt Lake.
That's right. He was with the
Twins.
The Buzz at that point.
Right.
When they were the Buzz.
Twins affiliate at the time.
He started the year with the Yankees. And then as part of a working arrangement the Yankees now have with the Yomiuri Giants in Tokyo. 1-0 pitch. Hill takes outside 2-0. A deal had been worked out. And Latham now making more money in Japan than he ever made here. He's making over $700,000 this year. And I believe so far he's about 1 for 10. They don't like that very much in Japan. 2-0 pitch. And that one just missed. 3 balls, no strikes to Corey Hill. But it was interesting to read his impressions of Japan and the strike zone and how it pretty much is the opposite of how it is here. 3-0 pitch. Strike 1. 3-1. Meaning that...
You mean if it threw it down the middle, it's a strike
instead
of here?
Instead of there. No, what I mean is what Chris Latham was saying is that when there is a pitch at the knees, that is called a ball in Japan. Where here, you get a strike. And when you get a pitch at the letters here, that's a ball. Over in Japan, you get a strike. So he said he's had trouble adjusting to the strike zone. Hermanson leads. And the 3-1 pitch, there goes Hermanson. Hill hits this one on the play deep down the left side. So Hermanson will retreat to first base. You've got to have Waugh. Just finishing that book, matter of fact. Robert Whiting wrote the book based on Japanese baseball. Interesting stories of Warren Cromartie when he was there, and Bob Horner when he arrived, what that was all about. A number of other former major leaguers who played there. 3-2 pitch. There goes Hermanson again. Ground ball's a comebacker. Green goes to second. They retire Hermanson there. Quick throw to first. That's a double play. Adonis Harrison displayed some arm there as Hermanson held him up at second base. Still had enough time to throw out Hill at first, and that is a 1-6-3 double play, and there are now 2 outs for Chin Feng Chen.
With Hill running, Harrison had enough time to make that throw and complete the twin killing right there. Otherwise, most likely, it would have just been a 4th play with Hermanson running, and that's one of the few places that Hill could have hit the ball and still gotten a double play.
First pitch to Chen is a breaking ball. He takes it for strike 1. 0-1 to Chin Feng Chen. Chen grounded out to Harrison to start the second inning. He's 0 for 1. He takes a fastball outside. And they count even a ball on the strike. The 1-1 pitch from Green. And Chen takes it at the knees for a strike. They travel by bullet train over there. They don't fly all that much. They do fly some. 1-2 pitch. Outside and low, 2-2. But before Latham left the Yankees, he checked with Hideki Matsui, who just left the Yomiuri Giants after many years, and got, through an interpreter, got a good description of what he was about to face. Chen ground ball, second base. Darrington there. He throws him out, and that's hit for the 51s in the 4th inning. No runs, a hit, nobody left on base, and no Salt Lake errors. We'll head to the 5th. It's the Salt Lake Stingers 3, Las Vegas 51s 1.
At Vista Chevrolet, we're proud to be an official sponsor of the Las Vegas 51s baseball team. Baseball is America's favorite pastime, and Vista Chevrolet is home of America's very best deals. Go Las Vegas 51s. We're rooting for you. See you at the ballpark.
Vista open 24 hours. Vegas Chevrolet and General Motors are obliterating the competition with the most incredible Chevy sale ever. You heard right, ever. 0% financing for 60 months on all Chevys, including Corvettes. Yes, even Corvettes. Or how about $2,000 rebates on Corvettes and $3,000 rebates on everything else? Want a Cavalier Tracker or S10? How does 0% financing for 60 months plus $1,000 rebate sound? Or get a Cavalier Tracker or S10 for 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 rebate. Home of America's very best deals is having America's very best sale. April 1st through the 30th. Vista open 24 hours. Vegas Chevrolet. Home of America's very best deals. Sales, parts, service, your way 24 hours a day. Believe it. US 95 and Ann Road. 0% financing, 1.9% financing on approved credit. See dealer for details. Vista open 24 hours. Vegas Chevrolet. Home of America's very best deals. Your way 24 hours a day. Believe it.
Come out to the ballpark and support the Las Vegas 51s baseball team. And come out to Vista Chevrolet to see our huge inventory of new and used vehicles. No matter what type of vehicle you're looking for, we'll be there. Vista Chevrolet is open 24 hours to serve you.
We go to the top of the fifth inning. 3 runs on 7 hits and no errors for Salt Lake City. For Las Vegas, 1 run on 4 hits and 1 error. And Andrew Lorraine set to face Durrington, Quinlan, and Johnson this inning. Along with Russ Langer, I'm Tim Everett. Russ will have you through innings 5 and 6.
Indeed. Thanks, Tim. So, they play that fraternity anthem, Louie Louie. Top of the fifth inning, 3-1. Salt Lake leading it. And Andrew Lorraine will look the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. That's Trent Durrington, Rob Quinlan, and then Keith Johnson. PCO, 6th inning, Nashville leading Iowa 4-1 behind a guy who happens to be a very close friend of Angela Lorraine's. It's Nelson Figueroa. And then in the 6th inning, Omaha and Memphis are tied at 3. 5th inning, Sacramento winning again. They lead at Oklahoma 5-3. They began the night in first place in the South, 3 up on Vegas. 2nd inning, New Orleans 3, Edmonton nothing. A ground ball to second. Thurston has this one on a couple of hops, tosses to first base, and Durrington is 0 for 3. He's now grounded it twice in Thurston's direction and fouled out to first. There is 1 out quickly, and the batter's Rob Quinlan, who has doubled and flied out to right at a nice sliding catch by Calvin Murray, leading off the 3rd. How'd you like to win tickets to the 2003 World Series? Well, you can do that by heading over to, or at least sign up for the opportunity to win those tickets by heading over to any one of 6 Las Vegas area General Motors dealerships and simply signing up. No purchase necessary to sign up for your chance to win the Las Vegas 51's Choice World Series sweepstakes. Fastball is low. Ball 1 to Quinlan. Both Cadillac dealerships in town are involved in this. Here's the 1-0 to Quinlan. He fouls it back, and it's 1-1. Cadillac of Las Vegas West at West Sahara near Lindell, and Cadillac of Las Vegas at 2711 East Sahara. Either one of those will do. Vista Chevrolet, Vista 24 Hours Vegas Chevrolet at US 95 and Ann Road is another participating dealer. Quinlan fouls one back on the ground, 1-2, along with Desert Buick and Desert GMC Pontiac. Desert Pontiac GMC is over on North Gibson Road in Henderson, 330 North Gibson Road near the Valley Auto Mall. And Desert Buick GMC is over on West Sahara. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Quinlan. Fastball just inside. That was close. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. And Worth and Buick also in on this at 3025 East Sahara. Any of one of those 6 GM dealerships giving you the chance to sign up. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Quinlan chops one foul behind the plate again. It's still 2-2. Just head over to any of those dealerships, either the parts or service department, depending upon where they direct you, and you can sign up. Just fill out your name and address, pop it in the box, and that's that. If you happen to buy anything while you're there from the parts department or have your car serviced, bring the receipt here. Just show your receipt at the Cashman Center box office, and you'll get 2 tickets to a 51's game absolutely free. Ground ball to Thurston at second. He throws out Quinlan. 2 down in the 5th, and the batter Keith Johnson. Johnson's 0 for 2. He's grounded to 3rd and fouled out to the catcher Coy Hill. So either way, you win. A couple of free tickets. You just show your receipt from any of those dealerships over at the Cashman Field box office, and you might win tickets to the 2003 World Series. And what a great summer this figures to be. You got the Cardinals and the Cubs, the Yankees and the Red Sox, the Dodgers and the Giants. You got some legendary battles going on in baseball. There's another ground ball. Thurston to his left has it, throws to Barnes, and Thurston collects 3 assists. The last one, the most impressive of the 3, in the Salt Lake 5th, and quickly the Stingers are down in order. At the end of 4.5, Salt Lake 3, Las Vegas 1.
Got mold in your shower or your kitchen? You checked with your insurance company, and they said you're not covered for that mold, right? And I'm sure an inspector told you that you can't sell your house with that mold. What if I could teach you how to clean the mold yourself? Then Annie the Maid would be offering you a service that would give you real knowledge about a growing problem. Abatement Technology Masters is a corporate partner with Annie the Maid, and we're offering mold removal classes for home and business owners. You know, mold remediation costs between $3,000 and $5,000 for a bathroom-sized area. So if we at Annie the Maid can teach you a valuable skill, which will save you $2,000 to $3,000 or more in the process, then our Abatement Technology Division will have offered you a valuable service. In our half-day class, Annie the Maid will teach you how to contain, remediate, and document levels 1 and 2 mold contamination. And proper documentation really is the key to avoiding future lawsuits against you. We're the oldest cleaning company in the Valley. Annie the Maid, Abatement Technology Masters. Call 739-8888 for classes, days, and times.
51's baseball and Tim Truschel weekday mornings. Sports Radio 1460.
Mama, how come I can't play baseball?
Oh, honey, you're a golden crocodile. Your arms are just too short.
It's not fair. I mean, where else these days can you get a sacrifice? I mean, what a game. Someone just brings a chicken or a goat or...
Arms off. That's not what they mean.
Oh.
Everyone at Shark Week loves baseball and baseball fans. So bring your 51 ticket stub to Shark Week at Mandalay Bay and receive $2 off admission after 6 p.m. Offer is limited to a party of 4. Shark Week. Kill an hour or two.
Back again, friends, to Cashman Field along with Tim Never. Russ Langer with you. 3-1 Stingers. They go to the last of the fifth inning. Steve Green has pitched well against Vegas. All 3 times he's faced him. He's already beaten him twice. He only has 3 wins in 8 starts. But 51s have been the team he's beaten 2 of those 3 times for those wins. And here's Chris Kopinski, then Calvin Murray and Wilkin Ruan. The bottom 3 for Vegas in the 5th. General Motors trivia coming up in a little while. Try to stump you on this good night. Dodgers have scored a couple of runs and they're back in the game now. They still trail the Rockies. This is a strike to Kopinski, who popped out the second at his first at bat. He was shortening up, and he took that strike. In the 7th inning, it's now the Rockies 5 and the Dodgers 3. The 0-1. A bomb to right field. That ball is on its way, and Wesson doesn't even go back. That ball is way out of here. A home run for Chris Kopinski. And it's now 3-2 in favor of Salt Lake in the bottom of the 5th inning.
That was a majestic shot. That was one that you knew when it left the bat it wasn't coming back.
He's got 4 homers, 2 against Salt Lake now. Here's Murray. And pitches low ball 1. A no-doubter off the bat of Kopinski. And Murray laid on a bunt single his first time up. He's 1 for 1. Green wastes no time. He deals a breaking ball for a strike, 1-1. Green back, the pitch. That's in the dirt ball, 2-1. Green has done well keeping the ball in the ballpark. It's only the 3rd home run he's given up in close to 43 innings of work now, considering where he calls home. That's pretty good. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball high, and Murray buckling his knees, watching it go by. 3-1.
What does where he calls home have to do with anything?
Well, the ballpark in Salt Lake.
Oh, I thought you meant in Quebec.
Pitch is outside. That's the walk. That walk to Murray is the first issued by Green. In fact, it's the first walk of the game for either side. And the batter is Wilkin Ruan. So, Murray's got good speed. He's the tying run. The Kopinski home run has made it a 1-run game. So, we'll see if John Shoemaker wants to put on some kind of a play here. Green tried to pick Murray off in the 2nd and made a poor throw getting Murray to 2nd. There's a line drive base hit to right field by Ruan. Wesson has it and will play it back in. So Murray jogs to 2nd and stops there. And the 51s are in business as the wheels turn in the 5th inning.
Well, right now, you'd think that John Shoemaker would want to move both runners over with the leadoff man up, Joe Thurston. Thurston's certainly capable of hitting, but you've got your leadoff man who's also capable of laying one down. You've got 2 men on base who run very well. With Calvin Murray in scoring position at second base, he represents the tying run. And the go-ahead run, Wilkin Ruan, who also runs well, is at first.
Here's Thurston 0 for 2. He's grounded to 2nd, and a good play by Dorrington in the 1st. And flying out to center in the 3rd. They're looking for the bunt from Thurston. They're in at the corners. The stretch by Steve Green and his pitch. Thurston squares and bunts it up the first base side. Nieves picks it up and tags Thurston, who stops running about 10 feet from the bag, and the sacrifice is complete. Murray takes 3rd, and the go-ahead run, Ruan, is now in scoring position.
By sacrificing him over with nobody out, it gives Riggs and even Barnes, who's up next, a chance to either tie or take the lead.
Here's Riggs, who has flied to deep center and grounded out to 2nd, batting .268. Murray at 3rd, Ruan at 2nd. 1 out, the pitch. He hits a pop fly, left center, that's shallow. Probably will not score the run. Quinlan, Ramirez, and Harrison. The center fielder Ramirez makes the catch. and there'll be no advancement as Murray tagged and came down a few feet and then stopped. 2 down, and the batter, Larry Barnes.
Now it'll be up to Barnes. Has to work with 2 down.
Barnes has tripled and scored and grounded out to short when he cracked his bat in the 3rd. That's an example right there of situational hitting that has been a little inconsistent for Vegas the last 2 weeks. In the first month, regardless of which hitter they've had up there, more often than not they've been hitting that run in from third base. Well, here's Barnes with an opportunity now against his old club. Batting .306. He leads the team with 11 home runs. And Green relaxes for a moment off the rubber, motioning for Gregorio to go through the signs again. Here's the pitch to Barnes. He takes a called strike on the inside corner. It's 0-1. 1 strike on Larry Barnes. Murray off third, Ruan away from second. Green ready with the 0-1. Fastball a little inside. And the count now 1 ball and 1 strike to count. One ball and 1 strike. 1-1. Barnes bombs one to right field, down the line, curving, foul. A line shot that got out of the ballpark in a hurry, but he hooked it foul. 1-2. You could see Barnes weight shifting on that off-speed pitch, and he came forward and got the sweet part of the barrel on it, but rocketed it foul.
Green had come inside 3 times, twice with a fastball. First one he caught the corner. Next one was a little bit inside and low, and then he delivers the breaking ball. So Barnes has seen 3 pitches inside. Was able to turn on that one and pulled it foul.
1-2. The look by Green, the pitch. And Barnes takes a fast one a little inside 2-2. Green has been trying to jam Barnes, coming in. And the count even to 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 on and 2 out. Gregorio again setting up on the inside, and Barnes is jammed, hits a dribbler back toward the mound, picked up by Green, who feeds Nieves at the bag in time for the out. The ball hit between the mound and first base, and Green came off quickly. And as a right-hander, his momentum was carrying him a little bit in that direction anyway. That ends the threat. So Vegas puts runners at first and second with nobody out after the home run by Klapinski, and cannot get the tying run across. 1 run on the home run by Chris Klapinski. 2 hits. No errors and 2 left. At the end of 5, Salt Lake 3 in the 51s, 2.
Buying or selling a home can be as stressful as making it as a Major League ball player.
Strike 3, you're out.
There are enough real estate curveballs to exasperate even the best hitter. Between getting a mortgage, finding the right house, and making the right bid, it's like trying to hit a wicked 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Century 21 has a game plan to help you reduce your worrying. With 23 offices in the Las Vegas area, they have all your bases covered. Their experienced agents pledge to help you locate the right property for your specific needs. Century 21 is also offering you the chance to win $250,000 toward the purchase of a new home. All you have to do is log on to Century21.com or stop by your local Century 21 office. You'll automatically be entered in the Century 21 Home Run Derby. It's a grand slam. Century 21, always trying to make your life as stress-free as possible, even when it comes to contests. Century 21, official real estate organization for Major League Baseball.
51's Baseball and the Jungle. Jim Rome, weekday mornings at 9 on Sports Radio 1460.
Subway's gourmet breads make our sandwiches even tastier, like the new Italian urban cheese, fresh baked with savory spices, topped with a tasty blend of Monterey and cheddar cheeses that are baked right in.
When you smell the fresh baked bread, gotta get to Subway. Subway, eat fresh.
They're dragging the infield as they do, customarily after the 5th inning here at Cashman Field. Top of the 6th inning, Salt Lake leading by a score of 3-2. The Stingers are 3 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Las Vegas 2, 6, and 1. As we go now to the top of the 6th inning, along with Tim Never, Russ Langer with you. Angelo Rain allowed 2 runs in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, but he's retired 5 in a row since the RBI single by Gregorio. The infield end, driving in Julio Ramirez with a run that makes the difference in the game right now. And Lorraine got the side out in order in the fifth, and all three batters, Trent Durrington, Rob Quinlan, and Keith Johnson, grounded one to the same man, second baseman Joe Thurston. Barry Wesson leads off. He's the number 5 hitter. Then Julio Ramirez and Will Nieves, and they all bat from the right side against the southpaw Lorraine, who is making his second start against Salt Lake this season. He appeared against them a couple of times in relief in Salt Lake. Here's the windup and the pitch to Wesson. And upstairs, ball 1. Lorraine's first start of the year was against Salt Lake. It was the last game of the 4-game series here, opening up the season April the 6th. 51's won the game. There's a drive to deep left center field, and that's in the alley. Ruan races over to get it. Wesson going for second base as Ruan picks it up on the warning track, fires in. Wesson trying for 3 bases. Here's the relay by Klopinski. He dives. He's got a triple.
Difficult to handle the ball off that deep left center field wall here, the way it curves. Remember, the power alleys are only 364, but then it jets all the way out to 433, so it makes a strange angle out there in left center field and in right center field. Ruan played it best he could. The ball was hit well. He got it back in quickly, and 51s did about as well as they could on that relay, but Wesson just beat it out.
This is the time of the game, generally in his starts, where Lorraine begins to get a little tired. He has only gone 6 innings twice, and this is his 9th start. So there's action in the 51's bullpen now. Here's Ramirez. Fastball of strike, go to third by Hill. And sliding back in safely is Wesson. The ball got loose in the Vegas bullpen and ended up not far from third base. So Jack Samuels will go over to fetch it. Ramirez having a good night. He had a bunt single in the second and scored on a base hit by Gregorio, and led off the fourth with a double, and eventually scored on Gregorio's single. Infield in with nobody out. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Change. He swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt, and a count 0-2. Oh, Ramirez did Lorraine a big favor right there.
Gave him a gift.
When Lorraine beat Salt Lake here way back, about almost 2 months ago now, he went 6 innings, allowed only 4 hits, and 2 runs, both earned. He walked 1, struck out 7, and he ended up retiring 9 of the first 10 hitters he faced. He started off very strongly. 51's bullpen took it from there. Here's the 0-2 look now. Lorraine is off the rubber. 0-2. The look, and the 2-strike pitch to Ramirez. And the change bounced again, and he tried to get him to chase it, and Ramirez not biting. 1-2. Lorraine's last start was in Tucson on Thursday night. He went 5 1/3, had no decision in a game that Vegas eventually lost. That was the last game of the series where Vegas took a 3-1 lead in the 9th inning and lost it as Masao Kita gave it up. And the grand slam by Luis Torrero finished that game. But Lorraine pitched well. He went 5 1/3, allowing 1 unearned run on 6 hits. No walks and 1 strikeout. He's not walked anybody in this game, and he's not walked anybody since May 13th, for that matter. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. The 1-2. Fastball, a call, 3rd strike in the inside corner. That is a mean pitch from Lorraine. He was working Ramirez away with a lot of off-speed stuff and buzzed him on the inside corner for his 2nd strikeout. 1 out, and the batter's Will Nieves. Some fancy pitching right there by Lorraine.
Sean Barton, the pitching coach, is going to come out and talk to Andrew Lorraine right now. So he sprints over from the third base dugout.
Augustine Montero is throwing in the bullpen. He's the newest member of the 51s.
Right now they're talking about how to pitch Nieves and also how to keep that runner at third, Wesson. I think Barton wanted to find out how well Lorraine's feeling. We get later in the ball game. Not sure what his pitch count is, but I don't know if it's way up there. I don't think either pitcher has a high pitch count at this point in time. There's been a lot of first ball swinging tonight, a lot of first ball ground ball outs.
You have 2 guys who have a reputation of being around the plate, so each team fairly aggressive up there. The infield remains in. 1 out, and here's Nieves, who is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly in the 2nd to drive in a run. The pitch. A high pop-up on the right side and foul ground. Barnes coming over. He appears to have room. Makes the catch in front of the dugout. Weston tags, but he's not going anywhere. Barnes fires a strike to Coy Hill to make sure. So, with Weston at third and nobody out, Lorraine with some pretty good pitching. Strikes out Ramirez, gets Nieves to foul out. The infield can back up now. But Lorraine is not out of the woods yet. He has to face Gregorio, who's driven in 2 of the 3 Salt Lake runs with a pair of singles, one on the second, one on the fourth. Lorraine is ready, and is pitched to Coy Hill. Hill setting up outside, and Gregorio, the catcher, takes outside ball 1. 1-0. One ball and no strikes to Tom Gregorio. Wesson off third with 2 away. The stretch by Lorraine. And here comes the 1-0. Fastball, a fly ball to shallow right. Murray coming in. He's there near the line. He's got it. And boy, Lorraine, a nice job with Wesson at third and nobody out. He sets down the next 3 in order. And nothing is hit hard. No runs a hit. No errors and 1 left. We'll see if that comes back to haunt Salt Lake later on after 5.5. Salt Lake 3 and the 51-2.
Bundling is a great program for a lot of our customers. I think that's where Cox Communications really starts to shine.
Bundling is a great special where you save money.
Because it combines our analog services, our digital service, with premium movie channels, and our high-speed internet service.
With digital cable, you can get over 250 channels.
32 premium movie channels.
45 digital music channels.
41 pay-per-view channels.
High-speed internet service.
We're up to 6 times faster than DSL. We're up to 60 times faster than dial-up.
We bundle a great rate together for you so that you get the best rate.
It gives you the maximum amount of entertainment for the least amount of money. You get a price break. You get a deal. And everybody likes to get a deal.
I'm Mark Noble.
My name is Rosemary.
I'm Mark Singleton.
My name's Derek Starr. My name is Harry Hargraves. We are Cox Communications, your friend in the digital age.
Score big with your family. Call Cox Communications and you can access over 250 channels with packages starting under $9 a month. Call 383-4000 to order. Some restrictions apply. Call for details.
51's baseball and Tim Brando at noon weekdays on Sports Radio 1460.
It's baseball season again, so isn't it time you headed home? KB Home has over 30 beautiful communities in Las Vegas where you can choose your own home site, spacious floor plan, and thousands of customizing options to help make it feel like yours the day you move in. Of course, you also get a really great price. Log on to kbhome.com or call 1-888-KB-HOMES for more details. That's 1-888-KB-HOMES. It's the smartest play you'll make all season.
Welcome back again, friends. We're here at Cashman Field, along with Tim Never, Russ Langer with you, 3-2, Salt Lake leading. The Romantics, What I Like About You, being heard over the PA system here. And Steve Green will face Chad Hermanson, Coy Hill, and then Chin Feng Chen. Okay, General Motors trivia tonight. Tim was hitting some sizzling line drives in the trivia in April. And
a couple of bloop singles, too.
A couple of bloopers, yeah. Jan. We'll see how you do on this one. Among pitchers who have won 20 or more games in a single season, what's the best one-loss percentage in a single season for a pitcher with 20 or more wins? Who had that record? Here's the fastball, a strike to Hermanson, who has singled in a run and then looped his single to right. It was taken off the bases in the 4th inning on Hill's double play ground ball. Hermanson takes a pitch that bounces, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
What was that question again?
20 or more wins in a single season.
Yeah.
Many pitchers have done it. But who has the best winning percentage in a season in which he won 20 or more games? 1-1 pitch. Hermanson swinging and missing, 1 and 2. If you think about pitchers who have had gaudy records. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Who had the most wins and the fewest losses? Here's the 1-2 pitch. Low. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Chad Hermanson.
If I go through the process of elimination, we'd be here all night, so I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know.
Pitches inside 3-2. Well, it's somebody you've heard of. This is not one of those Smoky Joe Wood questions.
No? Okay.
3-2 the count.
Give me a couple of hints, I might take a shot.
Not Bobo Holloman, I'll tell you that. You can eliminate that one right off the bat.
Good.
3-2 pitches hammered to deep left, curving foul, and back out of play. For example, Roger Clemens 2 years ago was 20-3. That's not the answer. David Cohn had a 20-3 season also for the Mets, and I believe it was 1988 or so. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Hermanson. But someone did a little better than that. 3-2 to count. The pitch. Hermanson hits a ground ball to short. To his left is Harrison. He has it behind the bag. Throws and gets him. Hermanson 2 for 3. 1 out for Coy Hill. An American leaguer and a left-hander. And he had a couple of fine years. Modern era.
How modern?
Summer of Sam type era. I got your clue right here. Coy Hill is 0 for 2.
Summer of Sam.
He has flown out to left and hit into a 1-6-3 double play.
It's a reference to the son of Sam.
As far as you know. Breaking ball's a strike, 0-1. Could have been Sammy Sosa. 1998, the summer of Sam. No, it wasn't. It was about 20 years before that. Here's the 0-1. Fastball's high. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Coy Hill. Coming right back is Green. And there's a called strike to the inside. Hill clearly displeased with Steve Cox's call. Steps out. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. 3-2 Salt Lake. 1 out, nobody on. Then the bottom of the 6th inning. Pitch is outside 2-2.
Like I said, I'm going to get Steve Carlton.
No, American League.
American League, okay. Well, he was in the American. Not in 78, he wasn't, though.
No. 2-2 pitch. And Hill swings and misses at a low off-speed pitch. Trying to golf that pitch was Hill. He's 0 for 3. That's the first strikeout for Green. And with 2 outs, the batter's Chin Fen Chin is grounded out to short and grounded out to second. Came from the deep south. And he had a couple of different nicknames, one of which, well, if I give you the main nickname, it'll give away right away. But the other nickname was the KG Cajun. Here's the pitch. Chen takes a fastball low, ball 1. 1-0.
I want the other nickname.
The 1-0. Chen takes a fast strike at the knees. It's 1-1. Ron Guidry.
Louisiana Lightning was the other nickname.
The pitch is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to count.
Yeah, you're right. If you had given me that one, I'd have had it.
He was 25-3 in 1978 for the Yankees. Chen takes low, ball 3, 3 balls and a strike.
That was the Pine Tar year, wasn't it?
No, I think Pine Tar year was 1983. It's 5 years later.
No, it was 78.
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
I'm sure. Here's a 3-1 pitch to Chen. A line drive to right center, but that's where Wesson is to make the catch about chest high. That ends the inning. Guidry had 16 complete games that year. Talk about a slightly different era. We have completed 6 at Cashman Field. Salt Lake 3 in the 51s 2.
Let me tell you a story about hardship, about beating the odds. This is the story of Susan Diedrich. Susan woke up every day at 3 a.m., cooked breakfast for her brothers and sisters, dressed them for school, then walked 4 miles through the frozen tundra to attend classes at the local university. On her way, she would work a shift at the local snowshoe factory, where her little hands would tie wood sticks together until they were too sore to write her name with. Occasionally, she would have to fight a bear or a starving mountain lion, all with her tiny little snowshoe-building hands. But she did it, and now she's a successful business owner selling bear pelts to lonely businessmen in the tundra.
Getting an education doesn't have to be this hard. Community College of Southern Nevada has the classes you need when you need them, and with locations all over Southern Nevada. Heck, you can even learn at home. Sign up for classes now at ccsn.edu or call 650-CCSN. Come on, the future is at CCSN. And, by the way, snow is the last thing you have to worry about.
51's Baseball and Wild Wild West with Kurt Gerheim and Tim Neverett. Weekdays at 2 on Sports Radio 1460.
Whether you're in the youth leagues or the major leagues, it still comes down to this: hitting the ball hard and scoring some runs. Sure hope you shopped at Sports Chalet, because the experts at Sports Chalet have everything you need to step up to the plate with confidence, including all the best baseball gear from Rollins, from bats and batting gloves to pine tar and eye black. This is sports. This is Sports Chalet.
We've completed 6 at Cashman Field, along with Tim Neverett. Russ Leimer with you. Salt Lake leading 3-2 over the Las Vegas 51s as Andrew Lorraine, who did a nice job working out of a 6th inning situation with a man at third and nobody out, and retiring the side without Barry Wesson scoring at third. They stranded him there. And now for the play-by-play of innings 7 and 8, here's Tim.
Adonis Harrison in the top of the order, Adam Riggs and Trent Dorrington. face Lorraine. It's a good ball game. 3-2. Seventh inning. Both starters still in there. And this being an American League game with the Salt Lake Stingers affiliated with the Anaheim Angels. You see the designated hitter. Of course, the Portland Beavers were in. And they, being the top affiliate of the Padres, had a National League game. So if you were here last night, the previous three games, you saw the pitchers hitting. And there's Harrison hitting one deep down the left field line. Chen near the line, reaches over and makes the grab. One away. Adonis Harrison has hit the ball to left field twice and deep. And on the first pitch, he struck out in the second inning. Now he's 0 for 3. So one away for Adam Riggs, the designated hitter. And we've seen a lot of first ball swinging. And as Russ pointed out earlier, both pitchers known to be around the plate. So here's Riggs. Riggs singled in the second inning. He's 1 out of 3. Popped up to Joe Thurston at second base in the first inning. And he swings and misses for strike one. He also hit a hard line drive to Calvin Murray in right field to end the fourth inning. Andrew Lorraine, no balls and 1 strike to Adam Riggs, tonight's DH. Mike Brumley has him in the leadoff role. Here's the kick in the 0-1. Strike 2 call. Came in with a fastball. Just above the knees to Riggs. Riggs hitting at .290. 5 home runs, 33 runs batted in. And standing in with a no-ball, 2-strike count against Andrew Lorraine. Lorraine gets a sign from Coy Hill. Hill sets up inside. Here's the wind in the 0-2. Swung on, popped up, short right center. Joe Thurston backing up, calling for it. The second baseman reaches up, makes the catch, and they're now 2 down. Second time, Adam Riggs has popped out to Thurston. He's now 1 for 4. Second baseman Trent Durrington. Durrington 0 for 3. Hit a ball down by the bullpen in the first inning, down the right field side. It was tracked down by Larry Barnes at first. And then grounded out twice to Thurston. Thurston's handled the ball quite a bit defensively. The fifth inning, he had all 3 infield assists. Strike is called to Durrington, 0-1. Now Andrew Lorraine continues to pump in strikes. On the top of the 7th inning, 3-2, Salt Lake with the lead, and the 51s with 2 down, and an 0-1 count to the batter Trent Durrington. The line in the 0-1. That's just inside for a ball, 1-1. Durrington from Australia. One of a number of Aussies to make it into professional baseball. The line in the 1-1. That's a pitch low below the knees. 2 balls and a strike to Durrington. Well, the summer time is here. There's no question about it. You look out at the flagpoles in deep right center field, and the flags have not moved all evening long. You come out here at different times of the year, especially in April, those things are always blowing around. Swing and a foul ball back to the screen. Count even 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, we want to congratulate the Community College of Southern Nevada, the local junior college team, in the Junior College World Series in Grand Junction, Colorado. They beat Spartanburg Methodist from South Carolina earlier today, 10-0 in 5 innings. The 10-run rule invoked in the game, and now they move on to the semifinal game 2 days from now. Pitch inside, it's now 3-2. They win that, and the Coyotes will be playing for the national championship on the weekend. 3-2, 2 down. Lorraine looks in at Coy Hill, gets aside. Standing on top of the hill, the left-hander working from the full windup. The kick and the payoff pitch. Swung on, line drive, right side, a base hit. Past the outstretched glove of Barnes at first. And Calvin Murray gets the ball quickly back to Joe Thurston on the infield. So a 2-out single for Trent Durrington. And now the number 3 hitter in the order, Rob Quinlan, coming to bat. Quinlan hit a double to the left center field wall his first time up. Murray rounded him with a hit in the third, and then he grounded out to Joe Thurston in the 5th inning, but it does not appear as though Andrew Lorraine is going to face him. John Shoemaker is out asking for the ball. Lorraine put his hands on his hips, wouldn't look at his manager for a moment. Now hands on the ball and walks off. Lorraine wasn't done yet, according to him. But Shoemaker is going to bring in Montero, the right-hander from San Pedro de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. We've got a pitching change, and it's brought to you by Subway. When you need a change from greasy fast foods, make it Subway. Eat fresh. We'll be right back with more. It's 3-2, top of the seventh inning, 51's trail. You're listening to 51's Baseball.
Subway's gourmet breads make our sandwiches even tastier, like the new Italian urban cheese, fresh baked with savory spices, topped with a tasty blend of Monterey and cheddar cheeses that are baked right in.
When you smell those fresh baked breads, gotta get to Subway. Subway, eat fresh.
As temperatures rise, so do your chances for car trouble. Help meet the demands of summer driving by taking your General Motors vehicle to an expert, Cadillac of Las Vegas. Let Cadillac of Las Vegas give your car a seasonal checkup to make sure it's ready for virtually anything summer can dish out. Cadillac of Las Vegas is your GM Goodrich Service Center, featuring GM-certified technicians, advanced diagnostic equipment, and genuine GM parts. So stop by your GM Goodrich Service Center, Cadillac of Las Vegas at 2711 East Sahara in Las Vegas, and keep yourself and your car cool this summer.
In my quest to classify and consume every single object at AM/PM, I began to hallucinate that I was drinking from a waterfall of golden suds. A mermaid swam up and offered me a pretzel. She called herself Sarah Vesa.
Make your own discovery at AM/PM, where a 12-pack of Corona is just $9.99. AM/PM, too much good stuff.
At participating stores for a limited time, prices may vary. You must be 21 years of age or older to purchase alcoholic beverages. AM/PM reminds you not to drink and drive. When you drink, always have a designated driver.
This is Sports Radio 1460.
What do you want from me, an apology? Forget it, because I ain't going to apologize, okay?
KENO, Las Vegas.
Augustine Montero from San Pedro de Macorís makes his first AAA appearance. The right-hander to face Rob Quinlan. 3-2, Salt Lake with 2 outs in the seventh. Runner goes from first. Durrington down to second base, and the throw hits him. So a stolen base for Trent Durrington. For Durrington, that'll be his 14th stolen base of the year. So he goes on the first pitch from Montero. Montero in Jacksonville in Double-A, 2-1 in 16 appearances, 3.04 the earned run average. He went 26 2/3 innings for the Suns, striking out 24 and walking 7. Didn't give up any home runs. Gave up 6 runs, 3 of them earned, and only 20 hits and 27 innings of work. So fewer hits than innings worked, which is a key for any reliever. Any pitcher, for that matter. He delivers inside to Quinlan, 2 balls and no strikes.
He has a history of throwing a lot of pitches, a lot of walks, and a lot of strikeouts. But this year, at Jacksonville, as you mentioned, he's been a little different story, a little more efficient.
Montero's 2-0 delivery is inside and low, 3-0. So he comes in a key situation. Lorraine goes 6 2/3 innings. Gives up 9 hits, 3 earned runs. Didn't walk anybody and struck out 1 through 98 pitches. And John Shoemaker goes with the right-hander to face the right-handed Quinlan, the 3-hitter in the Salt Lake order. Pitch a fastball for a strike, 3-1. Augustine Montero, 6'3", 212 pounds. The 3-1. Swung on, hit high in the air and deep to right center field. This ball's going back and up against the wall goes Murray. Can't make the catch. Durrington around third, he'll score. And a 2-out run-scoring double for Rob Quinlan. It's now 4-2 Salt Lake. And that run is going to be charged to Lorraine. So he will finish giving up 4 runs. And the book now closed on Andrew Lorraine. So Montero's AAA debut, the ball ends up off the right field wall, and Quinlan into second base with his second double of the game. RBI number 29 for the left fielder for Salt Lake. Now the batter's Keith Johnson, third baseman, getting that cleanup spot. With Wesson out on deck, 2 down, runner at second in the pitch. Swing and a miss, a breaking ball down and away. Some hard stuff from Augustine Montero. 0-1 the count. Here's the wind of the pitch. In the hard stuff, goes down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnson hitless in 3 trips. Grounded out to third base in the first. Popped out, foul to the catcher, Coy Hill, in the third inning, and then grounded out to Thurston in the fifth. Montero turns, looks at second base, and that causes Quinlan to dive back in with nobody covering. Wasn't going to take any chances, however. Augustine Montero, 1 ball, 1 strike in the pitch. Johnson swings and chops it foul. Quinlan had a big secondary lead with 2 outs, was going on contact. He was almost down to third. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Shoemaker, I'm sure, really wanted Lorraine to finish the 7th inning, which he would have done for the first time this year. This is his longest outing, 6 2/3. But he was right around the 100 pitch limit, so they figured better safe than sorry.
He didn't want to leave.
Nope.
1-2 pitch. Swung on, ground ball left side. Gets under the glove of Riggs and into left field. Another run scores. It's 5-2, and that'll be the first run charged to Montero. It'll be a base hit. So he comes in, gives up a double and a single. 1 run scores. 2 runs are in the inning. And Johnson gets RBI number 19 for the Salt Lake Stingers. And things not going the way Montero had hoped in his AAA debut. Now Wesson is 2 for 3, tripled his last time up. And Lorraine did a wonderful job pitching out of it. He lit off the inning with a triple. Came back to strike out Julio Ramirez looking. Induced a fly ball foul to Nieves, and then got Gregorio to fly out to right. Wesson, right-handed batter, swings. Base hit left field. And Salt Lake teeing off against Montero here in the top of the 7th.
Everything hit well. Nothing cheap. Pretty straight.
The 4th hit of the inning and the 4th consecutive hit. All this with 2 outs.
Montero's been pitching since he was in his teens. And he's had several years as a pro. Oakland and then Dodgers getting him as a minor league free agent. But one thing that can be a rude awakening for a guy pitching in this ballpark for the first time is how you can, regardless of how hard you throw it, you can't really elevate your pitches here. Otherwise, you could be in for a long night.
Out of the stretches, Montero on the pitch to Ramirez is outside for ball 1. Well, the inning started with Adonis Harrison flying out to the left field corner. Chen made a nice play on him. And Adam Riggs popped out to second base to Joe Thurston. There were 2 down, and now 4 straight hits, including a double by Quinlan. 2 balls and no strikes to Ramirez. Single by Durrington, coupled with a stolen base. Keith Johnson an RBI single. Quinlan drove in a run with a double. And now Wesson a single. Ramirez swings. He hits this one high and fairly deep to right center field. Ranging over is Calvin Murray. He'll make the catch, and that's it. So for Salt Lake, in the 7th, they get 2 runs on 4 hits. They leave 2, and there were no 51s errors. It's stretch time at Cashman Field, middle of the 7th, with the Stingers leading the 51s 5-2.
This is a Verizon Wireless commercial.
Heard about sending unlimited text messages with free up from Verizon Wireless? It's GR8. Great. Now through June 1st, send text messages absolutely free.
2AC.
Too cool, huh? There's no long-term contracts, no monthly fees.
3X. Why ADA?
No yada yada yada. Just pay as you go. Need a new phone? You're really
14UNA.
fortunate. Now get a cool Motorola B120C for only $69.99 after $30 mail-in rebate with the purchase of a startup card. Call 1-800-2-JOIN-IN. If that went by WA2FFT. Way too fast. It's 1-800-2-JOIN-IN. And check out freeup.com for music, ringtones, and freebies. Want to send unlimited text messages? Call 1-800-2-JOIN-IN. Come to a Verizon Wireless Communications store or go to freeup.com.
THNS.
You're welcome.
Subject to terms of prepaid agreement setup fee may apply. 5 cents per text message received. Other charges and restrictions apply. While supplies last, CDMA 2-way capable phone required.
Free 51 tickets at 51 after the hour, noon to 6, plus a trip to see the Dodgers every Thursday on ESPN Radio 920.
Camden and Oasis Apartment Homes are proud sponsors of the Las Vegas 51. Camden and Oasis Apartment Homes are here to provide you with 37 locations in the Las Vegas and Henderson communities. From studios to 3-bedroom family-sized apartment homes, there's something to fit anyone's needs and everyone's budget. Stop by any Camden and Oasis apartment home complex, or while you're at the ballpark, check out their ad and play ball. Camden and Oasis apartment homes, the only choice in apartments.
Welcome back to Cashman Field, bottom of the 7th inning. 5-2 the score. 51's trailing the Salt Lake Stingers. And for Las Vegas, it'll be Chris Klipinski, Calvin Murray, and Wilkin Ruan. 7, 8, 9 in the order. To face right-hander Steve Green. Certainly the Salt Lake Stingers have been providing enough offense. They're now double digits in hits with 12. 4 of those 12 coming in the 7th with 2 outs. And that was where some key damage was done, but still just a 3-run lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Klipinski, 1 out of 2, hit a solo home run to lead off the 5th last time up. Klipinski is 4th of the year, and he stands in there from the left side against the right-hander Green. Third baseman Johnson weighing on the grass at third. He takes ball 1. Elio Serrano is warming up now for Salt Lake in the bullpen. Big right-hander. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Klipinski. Klipinski pops out to the second baseman Durrington, and his only other at bat other than the home run. So 1 out of 2. Pulls this one foul up the right side, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Klipinski batting at .279. 4 home runs, 16 runs batted in for Las Vegas. Broke his bat pulling it up the right side, so he'll go back to the third base dugout, get a new piece of lumber. Get the old pine tar rag.
You can almost classify Steve Green as a 51's nemesis at this point.
Well, you look at it, he's got 3 victories. 2 have come against Las Vegas, and he's bucking for a third right now. He is the pitcher of record to the good, obviously, on the mound with a 3-run lead late in the ballgame. Here's the wind and the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball low and in. And Klipinski has an even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Mentioned that Lorraine had not gone 7 innings yet this year.
Next pitch is down low, 3-2.
And Green also has not gone 7 innings in a game this year.
He's working on it now. The wind and the 3-2 pitch. Klipinski bounces one to the third base side. Keith Johnson plays the good harp. Sidearm flip over to first base, and there's 1 down. So 5-3 goes the put out. The batter will be Calvin Murray. He's 1 for 1 with a bunt single. And he walked in the 5th inning.
Green's longest outing, 6 2/3, and actually a game he lost to Fresno back on April 14th.
Murray, the former Giant and Ranger at the plate. He's the only man in the ballpark to walk tonight. And he looks at a breaking pitch on the outside corner. Green has been able to deliver a first pitch strike to Murray with a breaking ball in each of his at-bats. The 0-1. Fastball, Murray was waiting for it. It was high and inside, and he fouled it off. So quickly 0-2. If we were keeping track of how many times Green has been ahead of a hitter, including 0-2, you'd see a remarkable number. And when that occurs, pitchers normally are in a winning situation. The 0-2 delivery. Fastball outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
One good thing about Green, he really wastes no time. He gets the ball and throws it, which keeps his defense on its toes also.
1 out, the wind, and the 1-2. Breaking ball, low and away, trying to get Murray to chase it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. First base umpire Casey Mosier wants time. A ball got away from the bullpen on the Salt Lake side. Went all the way around the outfield boards into almost right center field, where Barry Wesson, the right fielder, had to go get it. Nobody on, 1 strike pitch. And Murray swings and strikes out the off-speed pitch. So 2 down for Wilkin Ruan. Ruan's 1 for 2. Bounced out to the shortstop Adonis Harrison in the 2nd inning, and then in the 5th, with nobody out, and Murray, the runner at first, he got a base hit. Knocked one to short right center field. Ruan takes a breaking ball, and again Green comes back with the curveball to start a batter. Did that with Murray last time. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy, Wilkin Ruan can really run. He and center fielder for Salt Lake, Julio Ramirez, both center fielders in this game can move. Ruan hits one toward the middle. Harrison gloves it behind the bag, has to hurry, and his throw just got Ruan by half a step. 3 up and 3 down in the 7th. We'll head to the 8th. It's Salt Lake 5, Las Vegas 2.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's rearranging, redecorating, and rejuvenating the backyard. Patio furniture that's as comfortable as anything inside the house. And with the largest selection of gas grills to fit any budget, it's a reason for grilling out in paradise. Because right now you'll get free propane and assembly when you purchase any gas grill of $119 or more. And if it's a charbroil gas grill, you'll also get a free grill tool set valued at $24.99 with manufacturer's mail-in rebate. The Home Depot is how the backyard becomes your favorite room in the house. It's a hammock calling your name on a lazy Sunday afternoon, and free clinics taught by experts, so you can learn step-by-step how to put down stepping stones, build a grilling patio, or put in a koi pond. Best of all, it's the guaranteed low price every day. It's putting the living in outdoor living. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help. Offer good through April 30th, 2003. Propane offer not available in all stores. See store for details.
Is it time for a change in servicing your car? Are you tired of getting the runaround from other service outlets? Take your GM vehicle to an expert, Worth & Buick, for more than 40 years. Worth & Buick has been big enough to serve you, yet small enough to know you, featuring GM-certified technicians, advanced diagnostic equipment, and genuine GM parts. When it comes to keeping you on the road, Worth & Buick knows your vehicle better than anyone else does. Conveniently located at 3025 East Sahara in Las Vegas. Stop by and see for yourself why Worth & Buick has been a Las Vegas institution since 1961.
We move to the top half of the 8th inning. 5-2. Salt Lake with the lead over the 51s, and Augustine Montero remains on for Las Vegas. And he will face the bottom part of the Salt Lake order. Will Nieves, Tom Gregorio, and Adonis Harrison. Incidentally, for you basketball fans, the Dallas Mavericks came back on San Antonio and forced a Game 6. They beat them 103-91. They outscored them in the fourth quarter 29-10.
Just went back to get a bottle of water from the press area, and there's a picture of a very forlorn-looking David Robinson on the screen.
Wow. So we'll see if Dirk Nowitzki now pulls off a Willis Reed and comes back injured to play in Game 6. Maybe he will. Nieves is the leadoff man, right-hand hitter. Looks out at Montero, and he overthrows this one down and away. 1 ball with no strikes. So again, Dallas wins in Game 5. Forcing Game 6 against San Antonio. New Jersey Nets, meantime, continue to wait, see who they'll play. 1-0 pitch. There's a one-hopper backhanded into center field by the second baseman. Thurston throws on to first, and a backhanded scoop by Barnes. That's a terrific play by Joe Thurston, 1 down.
Very fine play. Going to his right, well-hit ball by Nieves, hitting for his first hit. And Thurston a backhand grab. And, of course, Barnes is as good as any first baseman in the league, digging out low throws, and he did it again.
So 1 down for Gregorio. He's 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. 2 singles for Gregorio. Knocked in the runs in the 2nd and the 4th innings. Right-hand hitting catcher. And the pitch by Montero is a fastball inside. 1 ball and no strikes. And in the Stanley Cup Finals, Game 1, New Jersey defeats the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim 3-0 in New Jersey.
What's your prediction there, Mr. Hockey?
Oh, you know, the Ducks are just happy to be there. They are pretty good, I'll tell you that, but New Jersey's got the experience. They got the experienced goaltender there. 2-0 pitch. That is outside. Gregorio now ahead of the count, 3-0, and Montero on the hill behind 3-0. Stretch by Montero in the pitch. That's ball 4. So he walks a man. 1-out walk, and Gregorio is aboard, and the batter will be Harrison. Well, you know, you got to like Martin Brodeur. He's won a cup before. He knows what it's all about, even though Jean-Sébastien Giguère has been playing the best of anybody in the postseason. And speaking of French goaltenders, Patrick Roy retiring after 18 seasons. It'll be announced tomorrow. Harrison heading from the left side to pitch. And that is low, and Corey Hill wants to go out and talk to Augustine Montero. Remind him where the strike zone is. He's delivered 5 straight balls, a 4-pitch walk. to Tom Gregorio and starts Harrison off, the ninth hitter, with a ball. Now, Harrison's 0 for 3. Struck out in the second and flied out twice to left field, once in the fourth and once in the seventh inning.
By the way, footnote, the Dodgers' double-digit winning streak is over now. It ends at 10. They were beaten in Denver by the Rockies 7-3.
We look at some of the numbers for the Dodgers, and on the one hand, you'd say, how are they doing it? They're not scoring many runs. But on the other side, their team ERA is the lowest in the National League.
Not only that, but you mentioned that they're last in the league in runs scored, but yet the differential between runs scored and runs allowed is the best in the National League.
Correct.
It just tells you how good the pitching and defense has been.
2 balls, no strikes to Harrison. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled straight back, 2-1. You know, you only need 1 run to win. So if you score 1 and don't give up any, you're going to win. And not that they've been winning every game 1-0, because they haven't, but they're winning the close games. And that's all that counts at the end of the day, is how many you win.
And today they just couldn't overcome a 5-run first inning that the Rockies put up against Kaz Ishii. Adrian Beltre had 3 hits, and Sean Green was 2 for 4 to lead the Dodgers.
Harrison swings, and he hits this one to left field. Chin Feng Chen with a beat on it. He steps in toward the infield, makes the catch. And there are now 2 down in the 8th inning for the Salt Lake Stingers. Back to first goes Tom Gregorio. Here's Adam Riggs, leadoff hitter, designated hitter, 1 out of 4, singled in the second inning. Fly to Joe Thurston twice and lined out to Calvin Murray in right field. Well, the infield back, the outfield straighten out with 2 down. Barnes will remain on the bag at first, holding the runner Gregorio. Stretched by Montero on the pitch. That's a fastball strike right down the middle. Riggs taking all the way. No balls, 1 strike, 2 down. 5-2. Salt Lake up by 3 runs here in the top of the 8th inning. Stingers have banged out 12 hits, doubling up the 51s, who have 6. Montero, the right-hander, 0-1 pitch, just missed with another fastball. 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. They kick in the pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. 1-2. So now Riggs behind the count 1-2, and Montero, after getting touched up in his AAA debut last inning, gave up 3 hits and a run. Kind of settled down here in the 8th. Starting to get the feel. 1-2 pitch. Just outside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now he does throw hard. There's no question about it. He's got a pretty lively fastball. It's just a matter of the control. Throwing it in the right place at the right time. His hard slider has been noted as well. 2-2 pitch. There's the slider outside. 3-2. So full count, and Tom Gregorio, who's on first base, reached there via the walk with 1 out. He will be off to the races. Montero steps behind the mound, picks up the rosin bag, which appears to be broken, while the white chalk fell out. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Adam Riggs. The stretch, the pitch, runner goes, swung on, looped on the infield, and there's Klepinski there to make the catch behind second base for the 3rd out. So, for Salt Lake in the 8th, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the Stingers, 5, 51s, 2.
This is a demonstration of what would happen if you mixed baseball and Shark Reef at Mandalay Bay.
It's a long ball to straight center field. He's going back. He's at the warning track. He jumps in. Into the shark tank. Oh, that's too bad.
Since baseball and sharks can't comfortably coexist, you should just come to Shark Reef after the game. Bring your 51 ticket stub to Shark Reef and receive $2 off admission after 6 p.m. Offer is limited to a party of 4. Shark Reef, kill an hour or 2.
The hare boasted before the other animals. I have never been beaten, said he, when I put forth my full speed. I challenge anyone here to race with me. The tortoise said quietly, I accept your challenge. I could dance round you all the way, bragged the hare. Shall we race? The tortoise slowly replied. At once the hare darted, almost out of sight, and he easily won the race. Expecting another ending? Konica is rewriting the book on high-speed document production, distribution, and management. Konica's high-speed, high-volume solutions support your work group with unbeatable productivity and reliability. Konica's fast, durable solutions bring you up to 75 pages per minute and up to 1 million pages per month. Moral? It isn't boasting if you can deliver. It's a promise. Konica High-Speed Solutions. Experience the Konica difference.
Call Nevada Business Systems at 733-COPY.
Right-handed reliever Elio Serrano was in from Carabobo, Venezuela. Last year, the Phillies in Scranton Wilkes-Barre was 1-3 with an ERA of 2.92 after 71 innings of work. Serrano 6'3" and 210, 24 years of age, takes the place of Steve Green. Green went 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, walked 1, and struck out 2. He was able to strike out Corey Hill in the 6th inning and then get Calvin Murray to strike out swinging in the 7th. 5-2 is the lead for Salt Lake. 5 runs, 12 hits, and 1 error. For Las Vegas, 2 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. Top of the order due up for Las Vegas. Joe Thurston, Eric Riggs, and Larry Barnes. 1, 2, 3 in the Vegas order. Thurston is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. He bounced out to second base, pulling one to Trent Durrington in the 1st inning on the right side, and then flying out to center field, swinging at the first pitch in the 3rd. And here's Serrano, making his 16th appearance, 15th out of the bullpen. Thurston looked to bunt. He fouls it off of the plate, 0-1. 2-1 for Elio Serrano, 4.56 his earned run average. He did have 1 spot start earlier in the season. 23 2/3 innings pitched. He's struck out 16 and walked 5 in the opposition, hitting .294 against Elio Serrano. Thurston's 0-1 pitch. He bunts it up the right side, tries to get it past Serrano. Serrano gloves, fields, throws it over to Nieves, and there's 1 down. So Thurston tried to get it past the pitcher up the right side, but couldn't do so. And there is 1 away. 1-3 goes the put out on the bunt attempt, and Eric Riggs 0 for 3, the hitter. And the 51s are 31-20. 3 games back of division-leading Sacramento.
They'll be 4 if they don't rally. Sacramento has won their game again.
Serrano's pitched to the left-hand hitting Riggs. Inside for a ball, 1-0. 51s get to 30 wins faster than any other team in franchise history. 1-0 pitch. Riggs swings, and he lifts this one into shallow right field. Barry Wesson with the catch. And quickly there are 2 down on the 51's 8th. In fact, when you look at this franchise, the first time in 21 years, the 51's got to 30 wins so quickly. It only, let's see, they were 30-18, so it only took them 48 games to do so. 1983, it took them 49 games when they were 30-19. Pitch inside to Barnes, 1-0. And then in 2000, and again in 2002, it took them 50 games when they went 30-20 in those seasons. But once they got to 30, that's when they stumbled. Barnes waits, and Serrano's pitch. Fastball inside, 2-0. So they were 30-18, and now they're 31-20. Looking for win number 32. They're going to have to come back. They'll have 1 more out here, and then 3 outs in the 9th. Serrano. Pitch to Barnes is outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Tomorrow, Wilson Alvarez gets the start. Wilson was in the cage today taking BP. He likes to swing it. Yeah, won't hit tomorrow, though. It's an American League game. It will be a DH. They'll take on right-hander Chris Butchek. And Larry Barnes walks with 2 down.
Well, one of the reasons that they want Serrano in the game is because with a 3-run lead in the 8th inning, they don't want to see walks. And Serrano has only walked 5 men in 24 innings coming in, but he does issue the 2-out pass to Barnes right there on 4 pitches.
Here's Chad Hermanson, the DH. 2 out of 3 with a single. Singled twice. Run-scoring single in the first inning, and Hermanson looks at the first pitch. It's a breaking ball from Serrano, and that is strike 1, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Hermanson. Right-handed batter. Serrano's pitch, another breaking ball in there for a strike. And Hermanson has taken the first 2, and he's behind. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 down, and Barnes, with a 2-out walk, stands at first base. Infield is back. Outfield fairly straight away for Chad Hermanson. Serrano's stretch in the 0-2 pitch. Down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
3 straight breaking balls.
Hermanson's average at .476 since joining the club last week in Tucson from extended spring training. Cleared waivers and was assigned here to Las Vegas. 1-2 pitch. Hermanson swings and strikes out. Gregorio thought the ball got behind him and was running back to the backstop looking for it, thinking that Hermanson was going to run down to first. Meantime, it was in his glove. He grabs his mask and laughs on the way back to the first base dugout. 51's not really laughing right now. No runs, no hits, 1 man left, and no Salt Lake errors. Will go to the top of the 9th inning. It's Salt Lake 5, Las Vegas 2.
Today we're with some relatively new members of the American Family Insurance family. So, what do you like about your American Family agent, Molly?
He's a very, very nice guy, and he treats our family like friends.
And you?
Everybody's real friendly, and it's always just like, hi, how are you?
Hey, anyone know the American Family jingle?
American Family Insurance.
All your protection under one roof.
American Family Insurance.
See the yellow pages or visit amfam.com for the American Family agent nearest you.
This is a Verizon Wireless commercial.
Heard about sending unlimited text messages with free up from Verizon Wireless? It's GR8. Great. Now through June 1st, send text messages absolutely free.
2AC.
Too cool, huh? There's no long-term contracts, no monthly fees.
3X YADA.
No yada yada yada. Just pay as you go. Need a new phone? You're really
4TUNA.
fortunate. Now get a cool Motorola V120C for only $69.99 after $30 mail-in rebate with the purchase of a startup card. Call 1-800-2JOIN-IN. If that went by
WA2FFT.
way too fast, it's 1-800-2JOIN-IN. And check out freeup.com for music, ringtones, and freebies. Want to send unlimited text messages? Call 1-800-2JOIN-IN. Come to a Verizon Wireless Communications store or go to freeup.com.
THNS.
You're welcome.
Subject to terms of prepay agreement. Set up fee may apply. 5 cents per text message received. Other charges and restrictions apply. While supplies last, CDMA 2-way capable phone required.
Salt Lake with a 5-2 lead over the 51s, and we go to the top of the 9th inning. Here's Russ.
Thank you very much, Tim. So, Augustine Montero is going to try to give the rest of the 51's bullpen a breather, and it's something that they really could use. 51's bullpen is dinged up. With Bill Seamus on the disabled list, Rodney Myers not on the disabled list, but a little tender and needing at least another day. And David Lee, according to Sean Barton, told me today that he could pitch, but only in a closing situation. They did not want to use Lee if they were tied or behind. So they used Scott Proctor, the newest pitcher, in yesterday for 2 innings. And so Montero, freshly up from Jacksonville, will try to finish it out of the 9th inning to Durrington, Quinlan, and then Keith Johnson as a fastball low ball 1. 1 ball to no strikes. 51s can't look forward to another day off until the upcoming road trip. That road trip will commence on Saturday in Portland. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Trent Durrington. A line drive in the left center field. That's in the gap between Ruan and Chen. Ruan over to cut it off backhand, slips and falls down. Now he gets up and gets it back in, but it's a double for Durrington, who's now 2 for 5. And the batter Rob Quinlan, who's 2 for 4 with 2 doubles. That is the 4th hit off Montero, hit number 13 for Salt Lake on the night. Durrington always seems to ratchet it up a notch when he takes on the 51s, and there's a story behind that. 2 years ago, Durrington was a happy member of the Dodgers organization here with the 51s under manager Rick Sofield, and he was not getting a chance to play a lot, but here nonetheless, here is Quinlan, here's the pitch. Sliders to strike 0-1. And Durrington was given his release because the Dodgers had an opportunity to get a more experienced middle infielder, Kevin Stocker, the former member of the Philadelphia Phillies. There's a bouncer foul outside there, 2 strikes on Quinlan. So with some reluctance, Rick Sofield, who, like Durrington, as a lot of Durrington's teammates did, called him into his office and said, "I'm sorry, we're going to have to let you go." They let Durrington go. He immediately signed with the Angels and went to Salt Lake. And Kevin Stocker arrived, appeared in one game as a pinch runner. The team took off for Sacramento the next day, and he retired. Pitches outside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Frantically, the Dodgers tried to, as the story goes, contact Durrington and get him back, but it was too late. He was gone to Salt Lake and the Angels. And every single time they play, it seems like Durrington's in the middle of something. There's a slider grounded wide of third base. Bad hop, but it pops into Riggs' glove, and he throws to first in time to get Quinlan. And Durrington hustles over to third. 1 out.
Yeah, I remember that very well, and I remember, I don't know who was more surprised. Several people in the organization were surprised. He just got here. You know, he's a major league veteran, and you say, "Hey, great, you know, we got a guy with a lot of experience." Comes into pinch run, and then the next day he says, "I'm all done," and quits and retires, and really hung the team out to dry there for a while.
No doubt. Here's Johnson, who singled in a run in the 7th inning. That was 2 big runs that Salt Lake got right there that turned a 3-2 game into a 5-2 game. Pitches outside, ball 1. The 51's pulled the infield in with Durrington at third base and 1 out. I sat next to Kevin Stocker on the plane ride from here to Sacramento, and we were asking about his background and his experience with the Phillies, and he had some postseason experience with them as well. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Johnson, and he sends a drive down the right field line going foul, being chased by Murray, but he won't get there. 1 ball to 1 strike. Ball lands right near where Bart Miotich is throwing in the Salt Lake pen. And he was a little fuzzy on a few things during that conversation. I mean, he was open about his background and everything, but about his future plans, he kind of said to me, "Well, you know, I don't really know. I'm thinking a lot of things over right now. I don't like being away from my family." And there's the 1-1 to Johnson. Montero's fastball, and he has to jackknife to get out of that way, that inside pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. And there were some people who weren't really too thrilled with that, because the thinking at the time was that it's all well and good to consider others with regard to your family situation. 2-1 pitch, slider line to left field. That ball's hammered, and it's going to go to the wall on a couple of bounces. Chen plays to Karam as Durrington scores, and Johnson at the second base with a ringing double. It's now 6-2 in favor of the Salt Lake Stingers, and Johnson has 2 hits, and he has his second RBI. 1 out, and here's Barry Wesson, and Sean Barton out there to speak to Montero. And the thinking was, look, it's great, but maybe the idea is to consider that before you sign a contract and move another guy out of a job. So there was a great deal of criticism leveled toward Kevin Stocker at that particular time, but it mattered not at the time. For him, he was gone.
And unfortunately, Trent Durrington was the recipient of the brunt of all that stuff. He ended up having to pick up what he was doing. Fortunately for him, he's been able to continue in his chosen profession, which is baseball. He's doing a pretty good job at it. He'd like to get to the big leagues, though, as would anybody playing on this field right now. That's the goal.
And the 51's whole reason they got Stocker, they had lost Sean Gilbert to Japan. Here's the pitch to Barry Wesson, and he lines one past Montero in the center field for a base hit, being waved in as Johnson. Here's the throw home by Ruan, and Johnson is going to be out at home as Hill tags him. Down to second goes Wesson, and there are 2 outs.
Mike Brumley taking a chance, sending Johnson on a very sharply hit ground ball to center field. Ruan's got a good arm, and he showed it right there. That ball was not cut. It was thrown straight through to the plate. That's out number 2. If there were 2 outs, I think Brumley would have held him.
2 down, and here's Ramirez. By the way, that's 4 hits for Wesson and 15 for Salt Lake. And here's Ramirez, 2 for 4. Single and a double, and 2 runs scored. He trying to hold up on a low slider. He goes around strike 1, and he looks up at the sky as if to say, what am I swinging at? 0-1. When Vegas bats in the 9th inning for their last chance against either Serrano or Bart Miotich, and I'm guessing it might be Miotich, who's been throwing a whole ball game down in the last inning or so, it'll be Hill, Chen, and Klipinski with Murray due up 4th. 0-1 the count. So Montero getting pushed around in his first game as a Las Vegas 51. He's allowed 5 hits, 3 of them doubles, and a lot of balls hit hard. 6 hits, I beg your pardon. 3 of them doubles. Here's the 0-1 to Ramirez. Chopper foul outside third. It is 0-2. The 51s had lost Sean Gilbert, and so they needed someone. They got Kevin Stocker. He's gone. And Durrington gone. And Durrington, a guy who is valuable because he can do a number of things. He can play several different infield positions. He does a lot of little things. He can lay a bunt down, steal a base. He leads this team in steals now with Sean Figgins in the big leagues. Here's the 0-2 pitch. A ground ball foul outside third, 0-2. Got kind of gap power and doesn't strike out all that often, and is highly popular among his teammates. 0-2. Ramirez flat out to deep right against Montero in the 7th. The 2-strike pitch. Shattered bat bouncer up the middle. Second baseman shortstop Klipinski has it in front of second. Throws back to third, and they have Wesson trapped. Riggs throws to Hill, who tags him out, and the inning is over. 6-5-2. 1 run scores on 3 base hits. No errors, and 1 man left on base. To the bottom of the 9th inning we go. Salt Lake 6 and the 51s 2.
Satellite can't even touch it. Satellite would not keep our family happy. Satellite cannot do everything that we can. Digital cable is a lot better than satellite. Satellite?
The advantage of having cable over satellite is that you don't have to contend with the dish.
No contrast.
You definitely don't have all the upfront or additional costs.
You have no extra equipment to buy.
You will get the local channels.
Free additional outlets and extra rooms.
You don't have to worry about the weather.
Cross communication is 24 hours around the clock.
Our competitors can't offer the services that we offer.
Satellite, you're only going to get TV service.
You know, I have my high-speed data. I have my digital television. I'm set. I don't need anything else.
We have a great 30-day money-back guarantee. I know you won't have to use it because you're going to be happy with the service. My name's Courtney Love.
My name is Mark.
My name's Rosemary Slicer.
We're Cox Communications, your friends in the digital age.
Score big with your family. Call Cox Communications and you can access over 250 channels with packages starting under $9 a month. Call 383-4000 to order. Some restrictions apply. Call for details.
Get more when you play. Get more in every way. At Barry's Nugget Casino. Feel it. The delectable scent of slow-roasted prime rib, seasoned to perfection. Can you taste it? Prime rib. It melts in your mouth. Tender, juicy prime rib. So satisfying. You can get it at Jerry's Nugget. Jerry's Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Las Vegas 51. Jerry's Nugget Casino. Minutes from Cashman Field on Las Vegas Boulevard.
Welcome back, friends. The big right-hander Bart Mijatic will try to close it out. Not a save situation with Salt Lake leading by 4 with nobody on base in the 9th inning, but Stingers trying to take game 1 of the series along with Tim Nevitt, Russ Langer with you. Mijatic becomes the 3rd Salt Lake pitcher. Elio Serrano goes 1 hitless inning. He walks 1 and strikes out 1. And Mijatic will face Coy Hill. Chin Feng Chin. And then Chris Klipinski. If you're scoring along with us at home, the ball that Ramirez hit, a little bouncer in front of second base that Klipinski fielded, is an infield single for Ramirez, giving him 3 hits in the game. And then Keith Johnson, I take that back, I beg your pardon, Barry Wesson, who was at second base when the play started, is thrown out between third and home. 6-5-2. Mijatic, a big guy. He's 6'4", 200 pounds, 27 years old from Lake Oswego, California. And Mijatic is 0-1 out of the bullpen this year. This is his 19th game. Got 7 saves, a 2.75 ERA. Mijatic tends to throw a lot of pitches, lots of strikeouts, lots of walks. 19 2/3 innings, 17 walks and 26 strikeouts. Hill takes a high fastball, and it's ball 1, 1-0. Hill 0 for 3. Fly out, a double play ground ball, and a strikeout facing Green. Sean Green is 3 outs away. Here's the pitch, 1-1. That's a strike, 1-1. That's right. Sean Green, no relation to Vida Blue or Bud Black.
Wasn't doing anything else today.
Or broadcaster Bill White. Oh, that's harsh. 1-1 pitch to Coy Hill. He swings and misses, trying to uppercut a chest-high pitch was Hill, 1-2. Steve Green is just 3 outs away from registering his 4th win, and 3 of them would come at the expense of the Las Vegas 51s. 1-2 to count. The pitch. Hill reaches out and fouls him off to the left. That's out of play, and the count's still 1-2. How's the moth situation over in the press box?
Well, there's been an awful lot of them in there for one reason or another. I don't know what the deal is.
1-2 pitch. Hill swings at a breaking ball and pops it into shallow right to second baseman Durrington, backpedaling, and he's got it. One gone for Chin Feng Chen. These moths are dancing around like a Tim Wakefield knuckleball inside the press box.
Well, we thought there was only one in there. Apparently that one has a number of body doubles. They continue to pop up.
I wonder how many degrees of separation per moth. You know, we're stat people. We have to be on top of these things. Here's Chen, who's 0 for 3. Ground ball to short, ground ball to second, a line out to right. And he takes a hard slider low from Miadic, ball 1. Miadic was with this team last year and posted 14 saves. 1 ball to no strikes to Chen. And the pitch. Fastball outside. 2-0. 51's led 1-0 after 1, but Salt Lake picked up 2 in the second. And they have led ever since. 51's down 3-1, got a Chris Kopinski home run to cut the lead at 3-2 in the fifth. Sliders outside 3-0. But they have not scored since then, while Salt Lake has added 2 insurance runs in the seventh and another in the ninth off reliever Augustine Montero. 3-0 to Chen. Miadic to 3-0. That's a strike on the inside. Fastball, 3-1. We were talking earlier about Major League Baseball and some of the races that are unfolding in various divisions. The 3-1 pitch. Chen takes low, ball 4. That one-out walk brings up Chris Kopinski, who has popped out, homered, and grounded out to third. Again, maybe 3 of the best rivalries that exist in baseball are heating up, and it's just good for baseball. It makes for great play, and you're really pleased that they have the unbalanced schedule where Red Sox and Yankees will play each other more. Dodgers and Giants will. Cubs, Cardinals.
Well, it covers 3 pretty important parts of the country, too. You got the West Coast with the Dodgers and Giants.
Kopinski takes a breaking ball, low ball 1.
Cubs and Cardinals cover the Midwest, and the Yankees and Red Sox cover the Northeast. Big rivalries. Red Sox and Yankees, I grew up around that one. That was just a lot of fun.
There's a strike to Kopinski, 1-1.
Some nights it's not a lot of fun, especially if you've been a Red Sox fan lately. But, the last few days it's been good.
This will be a 1-1 from Miadic. Here it is. Fastball. He swings hard and fouls it back. It's now ball and 2 strikes.
And Roger Clemens was going for win number 300 yesterday, and he imported a number of his former teammates, many of them former Boston Red Sox. Las Vegas' own Marty Barrett was one of them, and he was in Yankee Stadium.
Heard him on your show today.
He was with us from New York. He's heading to Detroit to try to catch 300 there.
That one bounces away from Gregorio to the backstop, and Chen takes second base on a wild pitch. 2-2.
I thought it was kind of ironic that all those Red Sox were in Yankee Stadium rooting for a Yankee.
Raja. 2-2 to count. I think Todd Gilliam made a good point after the game. He said, with everything on the line there for Clemens, going for his 300th, that's friends and family, everything set up, facing the Red Sox. Ground ball fouled outside first, still 2-2. To me, that was part of the problem. Sometimes you can want something a little too much.
Well, he had a party the night before. There were all kinds of gatherings, and he had to make all the arrangements. He had some help, and Marty Barrett said the same thing today. He felt that might have been a distraction for Roger.
This will be a 2-2 to Kopinski. And a ball right near his feet, and it goes to the backstop, and Chen takes third in another wild pitch. Miadic cranking it up and firing. He's walked Chen, and he's thrown 2 wild pitches. Miadic leads the staff. He now has 5 for the year. 2 in this inning. 3-2 on Kopinski with Calvin Murray on deck. 6-2 Salt Lake. 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch. Kopinski sends a fly ball to center field. This should get the run in. It's pretty deep. Ramirez coming in for it now in right center, makes the catch. Chen tags, here he comes, and the throw home will be way up the first baseline. A sacrifice fly for Kopinski, and that cuts the Salt Lake lead to 6-3, but the 51s are down to the final out now with Calvin Murray due up.
Julio Ramirez getting behind that ball in center field. A lot of guys won't get that much of a running start, but he circled completely around the ball and ran into it, making a catch and making the throw in the same motion, but it was way up the first baseline. No chance to get the runner from third.
So here's Calvin Murray. Murray is 1 for 2 with a bunt single, a walk, and he's also struck out. Fastball low. Ball 1-0. Bases clear, 2 gone in the bottom of the 9th inning. These two teams have split 8 games coming into tonight. Here's the 1-0. Murray takes low, 2-0. 3 balls and no strikes. Wilken Ruan would be next should Murray extend the ball game. The 2-0 from Mijadic. That's up and in, 3-0. There's little chance of Murray swinging now. Down by 3 runs with 2 outs in the ninth. With a 3-0 count. Oh, Mijadic cranks it up and delivers the 3-0. There's a slider that misses a little outside, ball 4. Mijadic just looked into the first base dugout as if to say, where do they want that pitch? Second walk of the inning for Mijadic. And Wilken Ruan has a chance. And don't look now, but a tying run is now on deck in Joe Thurston.
Yeah, exactly. Important for Wilken Ruan to be patient at the plate. He's just seen a 4-pitch walk to Murray. You saw Chin-Feng Chen get a walk. He came around to score with 1 out. The sacrifice fly, the second out of the inning, and now a chance for him to get on base.
Ruan takes a strike on 1. This should be interesting because Ruan is not a guy who walks. He's only walked twice in over 170 plate appearances. He likes to hack. He's 1 for 3 tonight with a single and 2 groundouts to short. 0-1, the pitch. Slider roll, it's a soft liner foul to the first base dugout. And it's 0-2, so Mijadic jumps ahead 2 strikes.
Yeah, Ruan a little off balance on that one. Hit it off the end of the bat. He's going to go get a new piece of wood. Might have put a crack in it or a chip in the bat somewhere.
Tomorrow, Chris Buchek will take on Wilson Alvarez, who's the 51's ace at 5-0 with an ERA of 1. Buchek does not have good numbers for the year, 1-4 with a 5.33, but another case of a guy who's pitched well against Las Vegas this year. Buchek has no decision in 2 starts against Vegas, but a 1.29 ERA, only 2 earned runs in 14 innings. That should be interesting.
You want to see a good pitcher tomorrow, too? Come on, watch Wilson Alvarez, who's 5-0 with a ridiculously low ERA of 1.06.
Murray goes, and there's strike 3. And the game is over. Ruan trying to hold up on a low slider, 1 around. And this one is history. Salt Lake wins the first game of this series by a score of 6-3. Back with the totals after this.
Hey, is that the $6 burger you got going there?
Yeah, from Carl's Jr.
Sweet. What's up? What's that green stuff, man?
Guacamole.
Oh, guacamole. All right.
Yeah, it's the guacamole bacon $6 burger.
Cool, man. So right now you're taking a little guac on the wild side.
What?
And you're eating that thing like, block, stock, and barrel?
Ed.
Guac on, Dave! Guac on, brother!
Okay, I get it. Guacamole. Funny word.
It is.
Okay, let's acknowledge and move on.
Hey,
okay.
acknowledge.
Thank you.
Done. Holy moly, guacamole.
Ed.
Dude, is this like burger totally guac in your world or what?
Ed.
All right, really quick. What do you say to a duck when you give him guacamole?
I don't want that. Ed, stop. Okay, you're bugging me, all right? I'm just trying to eat my burger.
Have a lunch.
Thank you.
Go.
Thank
Go
you.
All right. So what you're saying is you want me to guac it off?
Damn. Introducing the guacamole bacon $6 burger at Carl's Jr. The only restaurant-style burger available at a fast food place. For a limited time only, price and participation may vary.
Buying or selling a home can be as stressful as making it as a Major League ball player.
Strike 3, you're out.
There are enough real estate curveballs to exasperate even the best hitter. Between getting a mortgage, finding the right house, and making the right bid, it's like trying to hit a wicked 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Century 21 has a game plan to help you reduce your worrying. With 23 offices in the Las Vegas area, they have all your bases covered. Their experienced agents pledge to help you locate the right property for your specific needs. Century 21 is also offering you the chance to win $250,000 toward the purchase of a new home. All you have to do is log on to Century21.com or stop by your local Century 21 office. You'll automatically be entered in the Century 21 Home Run Derby. It's a grand slam. Century 21, always trying to make your life as stress-free as possible, even when it comes to contests. Century 21, official real estate organization for Major League Baseball.
I'm Linda Cohn, SportsCenter anchor and ESPN Zone's quality control inspector. That's right, ESPN Zone undergoes my rigorous 16-point inspection process, making it a place where fans come in week after week, game after game. There's the Linda Cohn taste test, where our famous American grill is tasted by yours truly. ESPN Zone's ribs. I'm thinking they could use a little more of our original sauce.
Linda, that's your second helping. Linda?
ESPN Zone, a taste of ESPN.
Old Frank Sinatra serenading the exiting fans here at Cashman Field. And Las Vegas drops this one 6-3 to the Salt Lake Stingers. The 51s are now 31-21, and the victorious Stingers improved to 24-26 as they creep closer to the 500 mark. And for the Salt Lake Stingers, who had an 8-game winning streak broken a couple of nights ago, this is their 9th win in their last 11 games. 6 runs, 16 hits, and 1 error for Salt Lake. They leave 9 men on base. For Las Vegas, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 1 error. They left 6 on base. The winning pitcher, Steve Green, is now 4-2, and he is 3-0 against the Las Vegas 51s this year. Losing pitcher, Angel Lorraine, falls to 3-3, and he's now 1-1 against Salt Lake this season. As far as home runs are concerned, there was no home runs hit by the victorious Stingers. Salt Lake had a solo home run in the 5th inning by Chris Klopinski, his 4th of the year and his 2nd of the year against Salt Lake pitching. A crowd of 2,078 paid to see the game, which took 2 hours and 37 minutes to complete. On the post-game show, Tim and I will look at this game. We'll check some scores for you also around the big leagues and the PCL. That's all coming up right around the corner.
It's not a very pleasant sound to have to go through. It's pretty annoying.
Cox high-speed internet service doesn't actually need to connect, so you don't ever hear that sound.
You've got a constant connection. You're not dialing in. You're not saying hurry up and wait.
Picture our internet service as a 20-lane highway with no traffic.
We're up to 6 times faster than DSL.
Downloads for files are most times instantaneous.
We're up to 60 times faster than dial-up.
It is far more reliable.
Also, you don't have to have a second phone line.
And the tech support is only a call away.
I can certainly say that high-speed internet service has changed the way people use the internet.
Most definitely. By far, we do have the best product on the market.
Call me up. I'll hook you up. I'll make you happy. I'm Mark Noble.
My name is John.
My name's Courtney Webb.
I'm Robert Rooney. We are Cox Communications, your friends in the digital age.
Score big with your family. Call Cox Communications, and you can access over 250 channels with packages starting under $9 a month. Call 383-4000 to order. Some restrictions apply. Call for details.
It's baseball season again, so isn't it time you headed home? KB Home has over 30 beautiful communities in Las Vegas where you can choose your own home site, spacious floor plan, and thousands of customizing options that help make it feel like yours the day you move in. Of course, you also get a really great price. Log on to kbhome.com or call 1-888-KB-HOMES for more details. That's 1-888-KB-HOMES. It's the smartest play you'll make all season.
Welcome back to Cashman Field, and welcome to the Las Vegas 51's post-game report. Firstly, got a question for you. Do you have plans this weekend? Southwest Airlines and the Las Vegas 51s are teaming up to fly one lucky fan and a guest to Los Angeles this Saturday, May 31st, to watch the LA Dodgers take on the Milwaukee Brewers at 7:10. You can register for the trip to LA during the 51s game this Friday, the 30th. The winning entry will be drawn during the game on Friday. Then one lucky fan and a guest will get airfare to L.A., compliments of Southwest Airlines, and tickets to see the Dodgers take on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Southwest Airlines flyaway prizes are non-transferable and must be used by Saturday and Sunday, June the 1st. So make your plans to attend the game this Friday here at Cashman Field, and maybe you could be on your way to L.A. this weekend, compliments of Southwest Airlines and your Las Vegas 51s. Salt Lake captures Game 1 of this series 6-3. As the 51s got a run in the first inning off Steve Green, a 2-out triple by Larry Barnes, who then scored on a base hit to center by Chad Hermanson. And the 51s had the lead 1-0 after one, but that'd be the only time they would have the lead in this game. Salt Lake scratched for 2 in the second off Andrew Lorraine. An infield hit by Barry Wesson began it, and then Julio Ramirez laid a bunt single down the third base side, and when Eric Riggs made a poor throw to first, Wesson advanced to third, and Ramirez went to second. Wesson scored on a sacrifice fly by Will Nieves, and Tom Gregorio looped a single over Barnes' head down the first baseline, scoring Ramirez. At the end of 2, it was a 2-1 lead for the Salt Lake Stingers. They made it 3-1 in the 4th inning. When they added another run, Ramirez opened the inning with a double, advanced to third on Nieves' ground out, and scored on Gregorio's single up the middle through a drawn-in infield. It was 3-1 Stingers after 4. Las Vegas got a run back in the 5th when Chris Klipinski homered over the fence in right field, a high soaring drive off of Green, and it was his 4th of the year. But that would be it for the Las Vegas offense. After that home run, the 51s would only get one more hit the rest of the way. And after the 5th inning, nobody got past, other than the run they scored in the 9th inning, there were no hits past the 5th inning by the Las Vegas offense throughout the rest of the game. And going into the 7th inning, Vegas trailed by a score of 3-2. The Stingers tacked on 2 in the 7th inning as it began innocently, 2 outs, nobody on, with Lorraine pitching. Durrington singled and stole second, and that's when, with 98 pitches in the books for Lorraine, John Shoemaker said that's enough, and he pulled Lorraine in favor of the rookie right-hander Augustine Montero, his first game for Vegas this year. Montero's first hitter was Rob Quinlan. Montero fell behind him, and then Quinlan doubled off the right field wall over a leaping Calvin Murray, scoring Durrington. And then Keith Johnson singled to knock in Quinlan, and through 7, the score at that point was Salt Lake 5 and the 51s 2. It became a 6-2 game in the 9th inning as Montero allowed doubles to Durrington and Keith Johnson to plate an extra run, and the 51s got the game's last run without benefit of a base hit in the bottom of the 9th inning against Bart Miotich, when with 1 out Shin Fen Chen walked, took second on a wild pitch, advanced to third on another wild pitch, and scored on the Klipinski sacrifice fly. Bright spots for Vegas in this game. Klipinski with his 2 RBIs, and Andrew Lorraine pitched well for the second time since coming back from the bullpen. And Las Vegas got Augustine Montero's feet wet at the AAA level. Chad Hermanson chipping in with 2 base hits. And that may have been the best thing of all, Tim, was the fact that the bullpen, which desperately needed a day off and will not get one entirely until they're midway through the next road trip. Saturday they go to Portland for 4. There's a day off between the Portland and Tacoma series, and they'll be able to take a breather in Portland before they head over to Tacoma on the bus the next day. But the team could use a little bit of a breather, especially the pitchers right now, because most of the starters have not been going past the 5th or 6th inning, which is creating a situation in the bullpen where you have a lot of tired arms.
Well, Andrew Lorraine didn't pitch too badly here tonight, Russ. In fact, he got into the 7th inning, goes 6 2/3. He pitched well enough where he felt he deserved to stay in there with 2 outs and a runner on. But John Shoemaker came out to get him. He stood there on the mound with his hands on his hips and didn't look at the manager who came out. Shoemaker reached for the ball. Lorraine just gave him the ball and, as a professional, walked off the field and made way for Montero, who then proceeded to give up 3 consecutive hits and 1 run charged to Lorraine. So it was not the best debut for Augustine Montero, but certainly the benefit out of him finishing up for Lorraine is, as you say, giving the bullpen a rest. It doesn't help the final score very much because Salt Lake goes on to a win, and the 51s lose another game in the standings to the Sacramento River Cats.
No question. The 51s bullpen now will be in a little better shape tomorrow, however. They probably will not use Montero, but with Wilson Alvarez going and averaging about 6.5 to 7 innings per start, they hope that'll be enough if they can stretch him out to 7 or maybe 8 innings. Brian Corey worked 3 times in 4 days in the first part of this homestand against Portland. And David Lee, again, in a situation where they don't want to use him unless he's going to be closing out a game. Rodney Myers has been getting a lot of work lately, and Bill Seamus is on the disabled list. So you have Scott Proctor and the newcomer Montero and the others I mentioned, and that's about it. The Vegas bullpen, and Scott Winchester, who's a long man out of the pen and got the loss yesterday. And so a couple of those guys will be ready to go tomorrow, but they hope to really stretch Wilson Alvarez out if they're able to do so. We'll give you some scores right now. First of all, in the PCL, in the game that is most meaningful to Las Vegas, Sacramento won again. They knocked off Oklahoma by a score of 9-4 behind Frank Castillo, and that means that Las Vegas is 4 back of the River Cats come tomorrow. And that's the largest deficit Vegas has faced since the season began. Meanwhile, other games, New Orleans defeated Edmonton by a score of 8-4. Nashville rolled past Iowa in a game that saw 33 base hits, 14-5. And one of Angela Lorraine's good buddies, Nelson Figueroa, picked up the victory in that game. Memphis beat Omaha by a count of 6-4. Albuquerque at home got by Colorado Springs by a 9-7 count. 9th inning is Fresno 5 and Tacoma 2. And in other ball games, Tucson at Electric Park held off Portland. They had at one point a 3-0 lead, and in the 9th inning a 5-1 lead, and they held off Portland 5-4, the final score in that contest. Major League scores. The Dodgers saw their 10-game winning streak come to an end in Denver. The Rockies beat them by a score of 7-3. Cook got the win over Kaz Ishii, who lasted 5 innings. Larry Walker led the Rockies with a 2-for-3 night with a triple, and he drove in 4 of the Rockies' 7 runs. 8th inning, the Padres a 2-0 advantage over the Brewers right now, as Jake Peavy is pitching a great game so far for San Diego. He has thrown the shutout to this point, allowing only 3 hits. And that's the last report we had on that game. 7th inning, Diamondbacks 2 and the Giants 1. And Jason Schmidt pitching for the Giants, trailing in that game. And Alex Cintron a home run in that game for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Other scores. Meanwhile, the Houston Astros defeated St. Louis 7-4. That was Jeremy Robertson over Brett Tomko. Billy Wagner got his 14th save in that ballgame. Jeff Kent a home run for Houston. The Pirates beat the Cubs 9-4. Benson over Clement. And Kenny Lofton 3-for-5 in that game. In 10, the Braves got by the Reds 3-2. Hodges over Ritzma. Vinny Castilla, a solo home run to help the Braves get that victory. The Mets beat the Phillies 4-2. Leiter over Wolf. Benitez his 15th save. Jeremy Burnett a home run for the Mets and a couple of RBIs. The Expos and Marlins were washed out. Baltimore beat the Angels in the American League action 12-4. Ponson all the way over Seeley. Geronimo Gil a home run and a couple of RBIs. The Indians beat the Tigers 5-2. Miceli over Walker. Baez with a save in that ball game. Toronto knocked off the White Sox 5-1. Halladay his 6th run over Bartolo Colon. Halladay went the distance on the 7-hitter. And it was the Yankees over the Red Sox 11-3. Pettit over Chen. And Todd Zeile a home run and 3 RBIs for New York. Texas beat Texas beat Tampa Bay. I beg your pardon right there. 4-2 the final for the Texas Rangers as Colby Lewis got the win over Reyes. Urbina his 17th save in that ballgame. Mark Teixeira a home run for Texas and 2 RBIs. Seattle got 20 hits and beat Kansas City 15-7. Freddie Garcia over Chris George. And Edgar Martinez, the ageless one, 2 more home runs and 5 more RBIs to help Seattle win that game. Meanwhile, the Twins beat the Athletics 4-3. Romero over Barry Zito. And Guardado got the save. His 14th. Twins came from behind to win that particular game. Zito, a good outing, 8 innings, only 3 hits, striking out 10, but suffers a loss anyway. Bobby Kielty, a home run and 3 RBIs for the Minnesota Twins. A reminder about tomorrow's second game of the series, and it'll be Chris Buchek getting the ball before the Salt Lake Ball Club. Buchek is a guy, again, with very modest stats for the year. He's 1-4 with a 5.33 ERA, but has only given up 2 earned runs in 14 innings against Vegas this season, opposed by the Vegas ace, Wilson Alvarez, 5-0 with a sparkling 1.06 ERA. 6:55 the airtime for the pregame show, and the first pitch at 7:10. We certainly hope to join this. You will join us at that point here at Sports Radio 1460 KNO. And Tim, we'll hope to see you before this homestand ends.
Hopefully, I'm going to be heading down to Arizona for the NCAA Regionals. UNLV will be playing New Mexico State on Friday, and then either Central Connecticut or Arizona State on Saturday, possibly a doubleheader Saturday. So the NCAA tournament is upon us, and I'll be heading down there to Diablo Stadium, the Anaheim Angels spring training facility. And then I'll be back sometime, maybe Sunday night, maybe Monday. I don't know.
Okay.
Depends on how they do.
I'll come up to Portland. You can do some games.
Isn't today the anniversary of Rodney McRae running through the outfield wall?
That is.
In Portland. I didn't know that, but our counterpart with Salt Lake, Steve Conti, made sure we knew that.
Steve came over and gave us that information, and that is something that has gotten around, because even modern-day players know about that somehow. It's one of those. It's not an urban legend, folks. It actually took place.
And he ran through the outfield wall in right field, literally through the wooden wall to catch a fly ball. What is it, the 20th anniversary of that? Or
I think it is. The
20th anniversary of McRae ran through the wall in Portland.
And lived to tell. He was playing with Vancouver at the time. I want to give thanks to our studio engineer, Mitch Moss, one of the great ones back in the KENO studios, and thanks to all of you very sincerely for tuning in to Las Vegas 51's baseball this evening. Until tomorrow, this is Russ Langer on behalf of Tim Everett, wishing all a very fine evening from Cashman Field in Las Vegas, where tonight Salt Lake defeated the 51s 6-3. Good night.
Kobe and Shaq
Look at the best of what they did by line.
a world champion LA Laker. Only on Sports Radio 1460 KENO Las Vegas. You've been listening to Las Vegas 51 Baseball on Sports Radio 1460. Tomorrow's Dodgers are your Las Vegas 51. 51 Baseball has been brought to you in part by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, Southwest Airlines, and by Cox Communications. Thanks for joining us. And now, stay tuned for great sports talk on Sports Radio 1460.